From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets. My mic wasn't on. Yo, what it do? Y'all know what time it is. The doctor's in the house. I know it's a late one, man. I know it's a late one. I apologize, but my godson was here. I did go on early on the Twitch side because he liked to play the game, so we streamed a little bit of him gaming earlier on the Twitch side. But yeah, man, he just left now, so I figured I'd get a little, get us a little short stream in. You feel me? I got some things to talk about, that I want to discuss. So let's discuss it, man. Let's discuss it. But as always, you gotta start off with a prayer. You know how that go. You know how that go, man. And always be thankful, man. I was happy to see my godson, man. I spent a lot. He's too funny, man. Little man, too funny, bro. He be having me crying, laughing, man. God is good. Bless you with a funny, wonderful godson, man. Dude, so big too, man. So big. Sheesh. Man, growing so much, man. Look, turn around, he gonna be a grown man. But yeah, let's get right to it. Before we do, we always gotta thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Thankful for letting us see another wonderful day. So please bow your heads if you indulge. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for letting us have a wonderful day, Lord. Thank you for letting me spend time with my godson as well, Lord. And those, let's be appreciative of the times we get to spend with our loved ones and our family, and our friends, and those near and dear to us, Lord. I know sometimes we take it for granted, so thank you for letting us all be able to have the opportunity to spend time with loved ones. If not, please provide us the opportunity to spend time with loved ones, even if it's going out of our way, because you just never know, man, Lord. And thank you for all your blessings, Lord. And don't let us take each other for granted, and show appreciation and love to one another, Lord. And thank you for always giving us another opportunity to do so, and every time we open our eyes, let us also realize that our book isn't finished, Lord, and everything we're going through, as long as we stay focused and true to you and your word, then everything will be on the up and up. Through Jesus' name, thank you, Lord, for your blessings. Amen. Let's get right. All right, so let's talk about this team, man. I want to talk about this team, man. So there's quite a few things I want to talk about, including the upcoming fight, Shakur Stevenson going against Artem Harutyunyan. I dropped I can't even say it without laughing, bro. I dropped a video on it earlier, man. I was watching the Top Rank thing, and I think it was called run time or run up something, I don't know, some Top Rank little episode, trying to get you hyped. That remind me of a bootleg 24/7 from HBO. It's funny, I was just talking to George about that. I was talking to George Jakovic last time we were streaming, did an interview with him, man. Dope dude. Go check it out if you haven't done so already. But yeah, we're talking about the importance of storytelling, man. And I'm not saying that they're doing a bad job, but you can just, especially if you're new to it, then maybe you don't notice it. But if you're coming from, not to sound old or nothing like that, but if you're coming from a little bit, I say like 10, 15 years ago, getting into boxing, man, you kind of appreciated the 24/7s. Even Showtime did their own rendition. I don't remember what theirs was called, but you like to hear the backstory of the fighters. You know what I'm saying? You get to see their personality. But now, I'm unfortunately how it is now. I got to be a realist, right? You got to keep it funky. How we do. We keep it funky. We keep it real. We keep it street. And as much as I hate to say it, it's not really important as much. It's not significant. Well, it should be important. And maybe it is important, but it doesn't feel necessary. Let me say that. It doesn't feel necessary, and it feels insignificant. You can say, "Oh yeah, these people are being cheap. They're not selling their product. They're not getting the people involved." But now, and it's Shakur is a perfect person to talk about this with. It's like, yeah, we could say that, but Shakur gets a lot of flack because he's not interesting. He's not intriguing. His fighting style is not entertaining. But a fighter's job is to fight. If a fighter's job was to promote themselves and sell themselves, yes, I'm not saying that you can't be a polarizing personality. I'm not saying you shouldn't be a polarizing personality or a dynamic personality or outgoing personality. But if you are more reserved, it hurts you more now than ever, because you don't have to depend on 24/7. You it's not even that you don't have, you can't depend on it, because let's say, like, can you imagine they had 24/7 when Terrence Crawford was coming up, because he's pretty reserved too, he's a pound for pound talent, man. He should undoubtedly be the biggest star in boxing, or one of them. I'm not, no knock on Canelo. Canelo should be the biggest star, he is, but I'm saying that Crawford should be close to that, but he's not 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. He's definitely one, 2, or 3 in pound for pound, but as far as being intriguing and marketable, he's not up there, but I say that to say with Shakur, it's like, we blame a lot of him for his lack of interest, and he's boring in the ring and stuff like that. Yeah, but at the same time too, what do we also knock him for? They call him Shakira Tweederson, right? So when he is trying to use social media to big himself up, people don't like that either, because they say he talks too much. So my point of that is, with social media age, instead of us blaming his promoter, who is Bob Arum, for his lack of interest in him, or sparking our interest as a community, or as a boxing consumer, we knock Shakur. We say, oh, Shakur's not marketable. Well, what's the point of having a promoter if we're going to blame the fighters for the lack of promotion? That's their job, to make you marketable. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say that, that's why we don't need the storytelling like 24/7, or the major production or massive money behind it, because it's kind of like a given that the fighters should be promoting themselves on Twitter, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on hell, even YouTube. A lot of boxers are being smart about it. A lot of, not just boxers, but anybody that wants to build a following, whether you're in the entertainment space, academic space, corporate space, industry space, athletic space, you can kind of make your own channel and follow your own days and practice yourself. So it seems like it's kind of inconsequential, but I miss those. I don't know if the money would justify bringing that stuff back, but like this Top Rank one that they did, it was only like 5 minutes long, 7 minutes long. There's no notification. Like, I knew when Boxing 24/7 was coming on. I knew that they're gonna drop an episode every week, 3 weeks before the fight, what I'm saying, something like that. But now it's like, it was cool, but anyway, I kind of got sidetracked. But the point of what I'm saying is that, I think that the emphasis of the promoter is even dwindling down. Not even that, promoter is now really more narrow of a purpose. It's not to promote, really. It's just really to just bid on fights and put in front the money, which is part of promotion too. But they're just like they're like record labels without having the commercials and the push. They're just there to front the money for the fights, kind of like give you money, and you got to come up with so many albums, and the fighters got to come up with so many fights, but they don't not having the commercial part associated with it. They're not getting like the brands and the sponsorships for the fighters. So yeah, a lot of the onus goes on the fighters these days. But anyway, I was watching that to say that, but I was watching Shakur and this is where Shakur hurts himself. Because Shakur, his last fight against Edwin De Los Santos, a lot of people have branded him as a runner, rightfully so, because when you're a star, you have superstar potential, you're going to have more criticism. That comes with stardom, what I'm saying? You got to take the pros and the cons. Do I think he's getting a little bit too much flack for it? Yeah. But do I think that he's deserving of some criticism? Yeah. I think both, but I don't think he's alone. I think Edwin De Los Santos, who we haven't seen since then, rightfully so, because he performed poorly as well. I think that they're dancing partners, and they both did horribly, but Shakur is going to get the majority of the blame naturally, because he's the one that we have the pound for pound expectations on, what I'm saying? The boxing prodigy expectations on, not De Los Santos. So, I like boxing, I guess I'll be considered a boxing purist. I'm a pugilist enthusiast, so I don't think that the only way to look impressive is by knockout. I think you could look impressive, like Floyd. I thought almost every time Floyd hopped in the ring, it was impressive. In fact, I think one of his most impressive fights wasn't the one where he knocked out Ricky Hatton. It was his performance against Sugar Shane Mosley, how he got hit with a big hand early, with a big right hand early, I believe it was, and then he never lost a round after that. That was one of Floyd's most impressive performances to me, so not to mention the fight against Oscar De La Hoya, the clinic they put on against Canelo. Canelo wasn't that impressive because he was a young bull, but still, he was so much bigger than him. It was still impressive. So with Shakur, he looked impressive against Oscar Valdez. That wasn't a knockout. He looked very impressive to me against Shuichiro Yoshino. That was a stoppage, but it wasn't a knockout. If you watch it, some people say it was kind of premature stoppage, but you can say whatever. I don't think Yoshino had any chance of winning, respectfully. But his last fight, in boxing, you're only as good as your last fight, similar to NFL, right? So, he's only as good as his last fight, and let's face it, his last fight, he looked like a runner. He looked like a runner, he's a track star. But like I said, I watch boxing, so I know in that outfit, De Los Santos was the puncher. he was the one that was acting like the bully. He's the one that pulled up and documented himself pulling up to Shakur's hood, right? It's Shakur City. So if you're in the ring, you're the puncher, why didn't you press the issue? We know Shakur is a counter puncher and he backs up. I'm not giving him an excuse. I'm just saying that we need to split some of the blame. He doesn't go away unscathed. So, while Shakur should have still, you want to be entertaining, but you want to prioritize winning fights, and his style is to counter punch you. His style is to make you misjudge and miscalculate your range. And he picked De Los Santos apart. No one thinks that De Los Santos won that fight. So he did his job. However, he messed up with the entertaining part. No one wants to see him again, and he looked like he was running. That's a stigma. Whether it's true or not, that's a stigma. He was running. So to me, this is where a promoter needs to come in, because, on that Top Rank little 7-minute clip, Shakur messed up, man. Shakur said he had the audacity to say that he believes Artem is gonna run. I said, gosh damn, Shakur. I said, gosh damn, Shakur. I said, bro, you could have said anything. You could have said Artem was going to give up. You could have said Artem wasn't going to bring that fire, that intensity to the fight. You could have said Artem wasn't going to bring the best out of you. You could have said Artem was going to quit. He said Artem was going to run. That's the one word. Don't use the R word, bro. You cannot use running. You are the last person on earth that should ever say the word run or any derivative of run. Don't say running. Don't say run. Don't say ran. Don't say none of that, bro. Like, that's on you. So now you just look worse. And that's why I think promoting and PR is important, like public relations, because, you just look. That's why a lot of people say, oh, you're hating on Shakur. Sometimes his tweeting and his talking does get him in trouble. But why does he have? The reason why I'm bringing it all full circle is because, give me a moment here, a promoter should be helping him with this. Like, the onus shouldn't be on him to promote. So yes, people are going to say, oh man, Shakur is just talking. He's just talking. He gets on my nerves when he's typing and talking and tweeting. But he has to. Bob Arum ain't helping him. He has to do this. I'm not giving an excuse like I'm saying. But Bob Arum is promoting Loma. Loma ain't got to tweet nothing. I don't think I've ever seen it. First of all, I don't be on Twitter like that anyway. I don't be tweeting like chirping like a little bird. I think it's ridiculous. No knock on anybody who does. But Lomachenko ain't got to tweet. Nayenwe ain't got to tweet. You see what I'm saying? Teofimo, I don't know if he tweets. He be talking out the side of his neck. I don't know if he be tweeting per se. But it's like, we gotta give him a bone, and that's why I think, like, I personally feel like I'm not gonna advocate that he leaves Top Rank. Well, yeah, I am gonna advocate that he leaves Top Rank, because the only thing that Top Rank and Bob Arum is dangling in front of the young man is Lomachenko fight, and Shakur's been calling out Lomachenko for forever. And we already, if you pay attention to boxing, I'm not saying that Eddie Hearn doesn't protect his fighters at Matchroom. Al Heyman don't protect his fighters at PBC. Golden Boy, obviously Oscar protects his fighter for Golden Boy, even when they call somebody out, because Williams Zepeda been calling out Shakur Stevenson, and he been pump faking with the call out though, because when Shakur obliges, he accepts, and he's like, oh, and he obliged. He's like, okay, bet, I'll take the fight. Then they renege, and they be like, oh nah, man, we ain't really ready for Shakur. So why you calling him out? They called him out before the Maxie Hughes fight, and they called him out after. And then when they were pressed about it, they said, oh nah, we ain't really want to fight Shakur. So it's like, so all these promoters protect their fighters, but in my opinion, Bob Arum does it habitually. He does it the most frequently. He's the most notorious for protecting his fighters. Like, so you could say, oh, why Lomachenko and Gervonta ain't fight yet, and they like to blame Gervonta. I don't know why, they like to blame PBC for everything. I'm not saying that they're the easiest to work with. I don't know. I'm not in the business of negotiation rooms, but I do know common sense, and I do know what I observe. And what I observe is that Lomachenko, if you want to blame Gervonta, cool. That's why they didn't fight. How come Lomachenko ain't fight Shakur? And I'm not even, me. I give the benefit of the doubt to the fighters. I'm not saying Lomachenko's scared of Tank. I'm not saying Lomachenko's scared of Shakur. I'm saying Bob Arum is protected his cash cow, because the last thing that Bob Arum wants to do is for Shakur to beat Lomachenko. Not saying Lomachenko doesn't have a chance. I'm just give you the worst case scenario for Bob Arum. Shakur beats Lomachenko, and then he hits the road. He skedaddles. He doesn't re-up on his contract. So people say, oh, well, why Loma and Teofimo, they fought? Well, that's because Teofimo was an upset to Lomachenko, number one. Number two, Teofimo has been signed with Top Rank since Top Rank. Since Teofimo was Teofimo, and he's still signed to Top Rank to this day. So if Teofimo beats Lomachenko, it's still a win-win for Bob Arum, even if it's unexpected, because they're both with Top Rank. You see what I'm saying? And I give you another example, like I said, with MJ Akhmadaliev. Bob Arum doesn't want Nayenwe to fight Akhmadaliev either. And his reasoning was that no one knows Akhmadaliev. But then we're gonna fight TJ Doheny. Excuse me, nobody knows TJ Doheny. But I'm not. And once again, I think Naya Inoue beats Akhmadaliev. So I'm not saying Naya Inoue scared for all you Naya Inoue, ridiculous fans and what I'm saying, irrational fan. I'm a Naya Inoue fan too. I think Naya Inoue wins, but Akhmadaliev is undoubtedly the bigger threat than TJ Doheny. I don't care what kind of 3-4 fight streak that TJ Doheny's on. Akhmadaliev, you could say he got robbed against Marlon Tapales, and that the winner of that fight was supposed to get Naya Inoue. And a lot of people say he got robbed in that split decision loss to Tapales. I think that could have went either way, but Akhmadaliev I felt like Akhmadaliev came on late, and Marlon Tapales is a good fighter. But I think it's crazy that people, every time somebody in featherweight wins, whether it's Rafael Espinoza or the Shushu Carrington at 126, which is higher than Naya Inoue, or Bam Rodriguez, who's at 115, 2 weight classes lower than Naya Inoue, they ask him, they say, oh, you want to fight Naya Inoue? But then MJ Akhmadaliev, who beat Kevin Gonzalez, is like, that's the person that we should be pressing for Naya Inoue to fight, not the people that are above him and below him. But anyway, I'm digressing. My point is that, I think Bob Arum, like he did with Naya Inoue, like he does with Lomachenko, like he does all the time. I mean, he just had Teofimo fight Steve Claggett, a guy that's barely ranked top 10. You know what I'm saying? So what it is that I think that Bob Arum is not really going to let Shakur fight Lomachenko until Lomachenko fights Tank, and if he loses or if he wins, then I think he'll let Shakur fight him because the consensus. I think Lomachenko's still good. I think people are over exaggerating the fact that he slowed down just because we know his age. He's 36. As the funny part about that is, I never heard nobody say Deontay Wilder was old when he was 38 and he lost to Joseph Parker when he had damn near 50 fights. But Lomachenko's old though, right? So if Lomachenko loses, he old. Deontay Wilder loses, he's ass. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, I think that's what it is with Bob Arum. I do not foresee Shakur getting the Lomachenko fight at least until after Tank, and that's number one. And number two, I don't, in my opinion, there's a saying that says the grass isn't always greener on the other side. That may be true, but when the grass is brown and shitty over here, what I'm talking about, then you might as well go ahead and try and explore and experiment and see maybe the grass is greener on the. It ain't gonna get too much worse, for Shakur. So like I said, hopefully he has some good people advising him, and which I think he does. The only thing I think the best places for Eddie is with Eddie, because Eddie Hearn, that is, at the very least, he's gonna get you some fights. He's gonna get you active. Now, out of the stables, out of the large promoters, like I already said, Golden Boy has Williams Cepeda and some other 135s. PBC has Isaac Pitbull Cruz, who's 140, but he can go up and down. And you got Tank, of course, famously. You got Frank the Ghost Martin at PBC. So you could, in your mind, obviously we would assume that PBC will facilitate the Tank fight, which everybody wants, and then which I believe that Shakur wants it. I'm not, like I said, I give the fighters the benefit of the doubt. I'm not saying I got Tank winning, but I do think that Shakur wants to fight. I don't think that Tank is scared of him. I don't think Canelo's scared of Benavidez. So I tend to give the fighters the benefit of the doubt as fighters. And then what's the other one? Top Rank, of course, has Lomachenko, which and Teofimo's at 140, but he has Lomachenko, but Matchroom doesn't really have a strong stable at 135, so that'd be the knock, that'd be the hesitancy and the reservation, in my opinion, to not sign with Eddie Hearn, because the 135 stable at Matchroom not too strong, but I still think Eddie Hearn will help get fights, and he has people like at 130 and 140 who are directly above and below. So I know I missed some comments, my bad. Okay, Mrs. Just Doing the building, let's get right. Supporter in the building. I personally don't believe Keyshawn will get upset. I think the person that has the most chance of getting upset is Oshaki Foster and Robson Conceicao. Bro, I ain't know Robson Conceicao was that much taller than him. I'm not saying that he needs the height, because I think Oshaki Foster can still win. First of all, I think that's the best fight. On paper, I think it's the most competitive fight, and I think it will be the best fight of the night. Yeah, I think Robson Conceicao has the best chance of the upset, but I think Oshaki's going to win. Good evening. Showing love to you from the Just Do Boxing family. Peace and love to you and your family, but most importantly, I appreciate that, Mrs. Just Do. I really appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Big salute, sis. I appreciate that. Big salute. What's good, my boy Johnny Garcia in the building. My boy Keyshawn is going to beat ass. Yeah, I think he's going to beat Madueno. And no offense to Madueno, but Madueno, last time I seen him, correct me if I'm wrong, he was on Pro Box. No knock on Pro Box. Pro Box has some great fights. We just saw Lamont Roach beat Feargoal, right? But let's keep it real. Pro Box is, you're either up and comer or you're trying to get back right. And Madueno's in the latter, right? He's trying to get back right. And if you're trying to get back right, you don't want to fight somebody like Keyshawn, in my humble opinion. But I respect him for taking it, But if he wins, that'll definitely get him back right. Shakur the track star, Bentley in the building. I'm here, don't grab all my... don't all grab my bags at once. What up with it, Smoochie in the building? Barely ranked top 10. He was only moved into the rankings because he was about to fight. Talk to him, Ty. I know he was at 13 when it was first announced. I peeped it. I made a video about it, bro. He was 13. Ty in the building. Shakur Stevenson be talking like he a killer or like he a gangster, but dude gets in the ring and shows his true cowardice. I don't think it's cowardice though. But we'll get to that, Johnny. He will go and ask Tank for a pick in locker rooms and talk shit after. Yeah, okay, I give you that, but I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. You could be cool with somebody. Hell, if you got brothers and homies that you grew up with, y'all could be cool one day, 1 second, be as close as the other. You might go through something. It shouldn't last that long, but you know how that stuff goes like that. So I ain't gonna judge that because I don't know the personal situations. But yeah, I do think that, like I said, I'm not sure how much they want to fight. First of all, I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, I keep it funky, man. I don't, we all have our innate biases, but I don't have a bias to where I don't give people their credit. You know what I'm saying? So I give Shakur his credit. I don't think that people really want to fight Tank as much as they put on. But I do think Shakur would fight him, especially at this point. I don't like I said, I got Tank winning, but I do think that, in my opinion, that's Tank and Shakur, that they're their biggest challenges. Now I could be wrong. I've seen Shakur fight Oscar Valdez. I see Shakur fight Yoshino. He looked great against Valdez. He was sizable. He was significantly bigger than Valdez. Not knocking. If you're in the weight class, it is what it is. But I'm just telling you what I see. And Valdez doesn't have that punching power. So I think that, in my opinion, Tank has fought more fighters that are a bigger threat to him than Shakur has fought. That is big of a threat to Shakur. I feel like Shakur is usually, quite honestly, but he outclasses the opponents. That's a applaud to him. You know what I'm saying? But I think that Tank's, even though he gets knocked for it, which I don't know why, I think Tank's competition has been higher than Shakur's, but I still think that Shakur, from what I've seen, poses the biggest threat to Tank. I think that's the best fight to be made. I think the best fight to be made is better be Bivol. Second one, I think, is Canelo and Benavidez. Third one, I think, is Shakur and Tank, in my opinion. Let's see. Shakur tweeted to be talking. Okay, check the ranking before that fight. It was announced Steve Clark wasn't even top. He wasn't even top 20. Oh no, I could swear I seen him at 13. That's crazy though. Why does everyone be talking like Shakur running in the fight is an ongoing problem? I only recall one match like that. That's a fact with you too. So I think that's his style. Yo, just doing the building. What it do, brethren? What it do? Appreciate you coming through, man. Y'all was in your chat, man. I saw you. I see when you integrated with Rise. Like I said, that's where I remember your name from, and I saw that again today, so that was dope. I saw you going back and forth with Buddy, talk about Shakur gonna get whooped, and you was debunking his thoughts. But I do agree, and I said I agree with his reasoning. But I do have Tank winning, but I think that's a good matchup though. Bud and Ennis also a great fight. I don't know about that, Patch. I know you're new to the stream. Pat's in the building. My fault. Let me give you a welcome. Pat's too soon. Talk to us. He gonna get me sidetracked. But it's not that I don't think Butts has the goods. Like I said, I tell people all the time, anybody who will listen, I think Boots has the ingredients to make a pound for pound champion. I think he looks like he has ingredients to make the recipe for a pound for pound superstar. However, him and Virgil Ortiz, I gotta be careful with how I bestow my definitive judgment upon them, because it's one thing to look good against people that are mediocre at best or decent fighters. It's another thing to look good and great against other fighters that we know are good and great. That's what Bud has accomplished. Even Errol Spence, even though he got whooped by Bud, dominated by Bud, Errol Spence has accomplished that. Errol Spence looked great against, former champions of Sean Porter, Kell Brook, Lamont Peterson, Mikey Garcia, I can go on. So it's one thing to look good against good people, and it's another thing to look good against people that are decent, and I think with Boots, his best opponent is Royman Villa or Karen Chavalakis, or whatever his name is, no disrespect, but like I said, I believe that Boots, he passes the eye test, but it's more than just what you look like. It's about what I know. I think he's good, but I don't know. So I don't. The verdict is still out with him and Virgil Ortiz, in my opinion. So I can't say Bud and Ennis is a great fight. That's just me personally. Shakur only looked good against small fighters. Remember, he was big for 126 and 130, even though he looks like that. I agree with that. I agree that he was big. However, I think Smoochie said it. His style is, he's a counter puncher, man. He's a counter puncher. He's good at judging his range. He's a cerebral fighter, just like Tank. It's another misnomer, man. People say that, Tank takes rounds off. Well, I don't think, when people talk sometimes, man, I don't be knowing, I don't know if they joking, they trolling, or they just really that damn dumb. Why would you take rounds off at the beginning of a fight? When you take rounds off, it's because you think that you're cruising and you're winning and you have the fight in the bag. So I feel like it's so disrespectful to people like even Lomachenko, he gets it sometimes, but he doesn't get as much as Tank. When people say, oh, they take rounds off, say that they start off slow if you want. But what you could visibly see, even with Tank versus Frank Martin, who I thought was a great opponent, Frank Martin looked great. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people give me flack for that, but I think Frank is a great fighter. You know, I think that Frank is gonna go on and become a champion at 135 or 140, which is yet to be seen. But and what's indicative of that is that after Esau Pimple Cruz lost to Tank, he's a champion at 140. You want to knock him and say, oh, it's Rolly Romero? I don't care. He's still a champion at 140, a higher division. Mario Barrios, he went on to be a champion at 2 higher divisions after losing to Tank. So name me another fighter in any division that when their opponent loses to them, they go on and achieve greater things. They don't just fall off the map. So you might find one fighter that might do that, you know, with Lomachenko and Haney, if you want to say that. Lomachenko's a champion right now, but a lot of fighters don't do that. So his opponents are pretty good. I'm not saying that they're the best, whatever, but they're good and they're disrespected. But anyway, back to the point. They say Tank takes rounds off at the beginning. No, he's literally downloading intel. You can see him gathering intel on his opponents, downloading information, checking out their patterns, and then he capitalizes later. That's not taking rounds off. That's being as cerebral as you want to be from a fighter. Like, so my point is saying that with Shakur is, his fighting style is not to be explosive. We can't ask these fighters to do what other fighters do. You know, he got to be good. And that's what, once again, it's shame on Bob Arum. It's another reason why I think he should leave Top Rank, because Bob Arum is a little bit too vocal when it comes to saying that, oh, he wants Shakur to be more engaging, be more entertaining. So you're literally with the promoter who is essentially telling you in a business savvy way, if you will, that he doesn't like your fighting style. So if your promoter doesn't even like your fighting style, why the hell would you, by default, he's not gonna promote you as well as he probably should. You know, and I'm not taking away all the onus from Shakur. So I'm not defending Shakur. I'm just telling you the truth. And the truth is that, you know, Shakur is not, he has a 48% KO ratio. Who do you think is a bigger fighter, Devin Haney or Shakur? I would think that Devin Haney is a more popular fighter. You know, now he's going through that controversy now. But other than that, you know, you can say that he's accomplished more. You know, he's the youngest undisputed champion of the 4-belt era. So yeah, but you know, Devin Haney's not really that polarizing of a personality either. But guess what he has? He has Bill Haney. Bill Haney, whether you like him or not, Bill Haney gonna make you watch him. You know what I'm talking about? If you watch him to not like him, or you watch him because he's funny, I watch him. You know, I'm not a big Haney fan. You know that as far as the Haney's go, I think they be capping a lot. But I appreciate it because he's entertaining, man. He be having me laughing, bro. And I appreciate that. So, and he did a great job with his son. So like Shakur doesn't have that polarizing figure. But the reason why I brought up Devin Haney, because Devin Haney, he only has a 1% higher KO ratio than Shakur. That's the point I'm making. So you don't have to have a high KO percentage to be an attractive fighter. Floyd Mayweather, who's arguably the GOAT, you know what I'm saying? Whether you want to say Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Muhammad Ali, rest in peace, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, Rocky Marciano, whoever you want to say is the GOAT, you cannot take Floyd out of that consideration. Floyd only has a 2% higher knockout ratio than Shakur. So he did it without getting knockouts. So it can be done. So this notion and this misconception that you have to be a knockout artist. First of all, it's called boxing, not KO Kings. Boxing, aka the sweet science. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I understand that knockouts are like the alley-oops of boxing. They're like the slam dunks and crossovers of boxing. But I like boxing. I know everybody, the casual fan doesn't like boxing. I'm not saying that they should. You know, they should want to see knockouts, I guess, if that's what you like. I'm not knocking that. But at the same time, we got to appreciate fighters for who they are. And you say that he runs. He didn't look good against De Los Santos. I'll say that. But running, to me, he definitely did. I don't like the comparison of what he did with De Los Santos to Floyd, because Floyd didn't do that. Floyd stayed in the pocket, Philly shelled up, head movement up. You know what I'm saying? And he look at Oscar fight. You know, he's ducking and dodging punches. You know, so he's not backing up like that. However, he didn't do what Jermaine Ortiz did. You know, so Shakur ain't do what Floyd does, but Shakur also didn't do what Jermaine Ortiz ran. Jermaine Ortiz, he was on his bicycle looking like Lance Armstrong. You know what I'm talking about? There was a difference. Now, you know what I'm saying? Because Teofimo was chasing him, and he looked bad too, because he got exposed for not knowing how to do a basic fundamental as use your jab and cut off the ring. That's a whole nother story. But we got to give like, Teofimo was a puncher. He pressed. Edward De Los Santos was a puncher in Shakur's outfit. He didn't press. And Shakur wasn't running like De Los Santos. So I got to give him a little bit of grace in that. But no, you're right though. So I'm not here to defend him. I'm just speaking on that, you know. Cedric said Tank gonna be talking like James Toney in 10 years if he don't tighten his defense up. Tank has bad defense? That's the first I've ever heard that in my life. Yeah, I always thought that was stupid. There's many ways to fight a fight. Not all of them include reckless. Exactly. Attack your opponent. Talk to a Smoochie. I never heard that Tank has bad defense. I mean, if he had bad defense, he would have ended up like Rolando Romero against Isaac Pipo Cruz. If you don't like him, that's one thing. Just say you don't like him. But I don't think Tank has bad defense. I haven't seen one Tank fight. He dominated for starts fidgets. I like Tank, but eventually those late starts. Once again, you talk about late starts. I don't know what you want the man to do. It also so some people would knock him for getting all KOs, and other people knock him for a late start. Like I don't know, man. I don't know what you want the man to do. And then when he gets a decision against Isaac Pipo Cruz, they knock him for that too. They want to knock. It also hurts your brand when you tell your fan base, I don't give a fuck if you don't like how I fight, don't watch. I mean, yeah, it does hurt your fan base. That's true. But what you want the man to do? Like, I don't know. That's the one thing. I'm tough on Shakur. You know, I'm tough on Shakur because I think that Shakur, you know, I am tough on him in regards to when he says that Tank is fighting a weak opposition. He cherry picking Frank Martin, but then he's going to fight Artem Harutyunyan. And Artem Harutyunyan only has one loss. So who did he lose to? You guessed it, Frank the Ghost Martin. So, first of all, I thought Frank Martin was a high-ranked opponent. You know, everybody don't put all stock into rankings, but rankings mean something. They don't just randomly pick somebody and rank them. Arnaldo in the building, me brethren, me hermano, what it do? Artem advised him to wear his running shoes against Shakur. That was funny. Yeah, that was funny as hell. Front line in the building. So I feel you, Pats. I feel you, but at the same time, he's saying that because, bro, if you go look, every time he says something, man, people be on him. Like, so at the same time, you gonna defend yourself, whether it's verbally or physically, you know. And I just can't knock Shakur for his fighting style because he's counterpunching, you know what I'm saying? And I just hope that he doesn't try to pull a Devin Haney and try to meet the dude in the center of the ring and just gonna bite him in the ass. If you lose, you want to lose at your best, you know. And at the same time, you're not supposed to care what people think. Because at the same time, if you care what people think and you mess around and lose, they gonna treat you like Errol Spence. Errol Spence has one loss, and people called him a fraud. And that one loss that it came to was arguably the best person. If you have Terrence Bud Crawford at outside of your top 3 pound for pound, if it doesn't include Usyk, maybe you don't include heavyweights, and that's okay. But Usyk came up from cruiserweight, so I include him in my pound for pound. So Usyk, now you anyway, and Terrence Bud Crawford in any order. If you don't have Bud in your 1, 2, or 3, then I had to question your boxing judgment, you know, at the very least. And so my point of bringing that up is Errol Spence has one loss, and that's to one of the top fighters of this generation. And people have called him a fraud. You've seen it. So when you lose one time, it don't matter who you lose to, you're a fraud. The people said Tyson Fury never beat anybody because he lost in a fight that was going to determine the first undisputed heavyweight champion in a quarter century, 25 years since Lennox the Lion Lewis. And people said he trash because he lost to Alexander Usyk. So I'm saying, so it's not even like an ethnic thing or a nationality thing. He's from England. He's not American. So it's like people who do that, especially in America, though. I think, especially. I tell you, facts. Talk to him, Cedric. Take resume is solid. He said Tank don't get hit a lot. No, he doesn't get a hit a lot. I don't know where you got that from. I never heard you. I mean, I've never seen that before. Tank get hit. Who has hit him a lot? The only way I can say that you think he gets hit a lot is because you're downplaying, and you're not, because you said his resume is solid. So I don't know. You don't think a guy like Frank the Ghost Martin, you don't think you're gonna get hit by Frank Martin? You know what I'm saying? You don't think you're gonna get hit by Frank Martin? You don't think you're gonna get hit by Isaac Pipo Cruz as probably one of the most, if not the most relentless pressure fighters, most durable fighters in boxing right now, especially at the 140 and 135 division. You don't think you're gonna get hit? And he didn't even get hit a lot in that Isaac Pipo Cruz, which is why he won, in my opinion, with a hurt hand. So I don't think that he gets hit a lot at all. I mean, I'm waiting for your example, though. You know, Shakur, the new that's crazy. The new Jesse Owens. Shakur tried that with Nakatali and rethought that. Ty in the building. Oh, I think already. Did I say Ty in the building? My bad if I didn't. Ty in the building. I don't know if it's like your Courage defense or hate it. I don't know if I like Courage defense or hate it. It's so good it puts me to sleep from watching those. Yeah, so like I said, Johnny, I'm not saying that anybody's wrong for not liking it, but I'm just saying we got to be careful. We got to appreciate. We got to know we got to direct our energy appropriately is what I'm saying. You know, it's like Eddie Hearn has come out and said, you know, whether he's capping or not, you know, he's trying to court Shakur, of course, too. But Eddie Hearn has said that, you know, he's kind of echoed what I said. He said it after me. Not saying he's listening to me. I'm just saying that I've said this before. It's like, promoters got to promote, man. You know, so like Shakur, a lot of times we knock him for being boring. But when your own promoter says that you're boring, and that, you know, Bob Arum is documented where he says that, yeah, he can outpoint people. You know, he might be the best at doing that. He's going to win fights, but, you know, he's not entertaining, and I wanted to be more engaging. And it's like, yeah, you could say that, but he wants to be engaging. Why? Because he wants people to want to see him. That's your job. Your job is to, my job is to win fights. Judge's job is to judge the fight. The fighter's job is to fight the fight, and the promoter's job is to promote the fight. And the fighters that are in their stable. If you're not gonna do that, then what's the point of me signing? You know what I'm saying? That significantly decreases your value as a promoter. So my point is that, yes, we could knock him for not fighting well, and of course we could say that it's not engaging, it's boring. But I just gave you examples of Floyd and Devin Haney who have similar knockout ratios to them, and they were popular. You know what I'm saying? Was Devin Haney the biggest as far as popularity goes? No, of course. You know, but he was significantly more popular than Shakur, and you could say that, yeah, he was the first undisputed. He had some accolades at the colleges too that maybe Shakur doesn't have, but Shakur's a champion. You know, and he's been a champion in 2 different divisions. So I'm just saying that I don't know how much of it. I'm saying that it is a lot his fault, but I'm saying it may be like 60-40. You know what I'm talking about? It's not 100% his fault. It might be like 60% his fault, 40% Top Rank's fault for the lack of promotion, in my opinion. But Shakur, we can't deny his skills, and yeah, he gonna put you to sleep. But did he put you to sleep against Yoshino? I would ask that. And tell me, Johnny, did he put you to sleep against Valdez? Did he put you to sleep against Yoshino? Did he put you to sleep against Conceicao, who's also fighting against Oshiki Foster? So if he didn't, it's like, you know, but then it goes back to, you know, we already know you're only as good as your last fight. So, like I said, so I'm not defending him on that, because that last fight was trash, and he was part of that. So it does go on him. But at the same time, you got to remember that he's never really the puncher in that outfit. His style is to counter punch. But the counter, and it's justified, the counter to that will be, hey man, well, if your opponent's not pressing the issue, then sometimes you got to adapt. And he didn't press the issue against Edward De Los Santos and make it more intriguing, which is also is on him as well. But I don't think that he should just get the blame alone. It's just Shakur Stevenson Stevens is the best at 135, period. Keep watching Shakur Stevenson. You'll convert your opinion soon enough. I don't know what my opinion is that needs to be converted. I don't know. I don't know what opinion of mine that needs to be converted. I don't think anything needs to be converted or is going to be converted. I think Shakur is the second best at 135. I don't know what else you want me to do about that, brother. I don't know what else you want me to say. He's number one. I don't think he's number one. I think Tank's number one. But I don't say that for lack of thought or lack of, you know what I'm saying? I don't say that for off of impulsive emotions or feelings. I say that because I look at the game, I analyze the game, and from what I see, I think Tank beats him. But I don't think anybody else beats him. And being number 2 in anything is not a bad thing. So I'm not knocking him. I think he's very good, and I think that him and Tank will be a good fight, and it could go either way. Yo, James in the building. I just think it'll go Tank's way. He said, I can't let that Floyd comparison slide. Floyd not compares to the weight. Shakur is incomparable because 140 and down. Floyd KO percentage was about 70%. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So my point of making that comparison is saying that you don't have to have the biggest KO percentage to have that, because yes, Ty, you're right, but I could also counter that when Floyd was knocking people out, when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, was he as big as Money Mayweather? No. But he didn't get big until his percentage started going down. That was the point I was making. I wasn't making the point that they're similar fighters, or I even made the distinction. Maybe you weren't here yet, but I said that they don't fight the same. I literally gave examples of the Philly shell and being in the pocket as far as Floyd. Shakur takes advantage of, you know, being quicker and backing up and putting you out of range and make you miscalculate or misjudge your range when fighting him. Floyd is in the pocket with the Philly shell and with the head movement and dodging and counter punching. So I even said that their styles are different. The only comparison I was making is that, which I could counter to you, like I said, is that you don't necessarily need a high KO percentage. So Shakur's the biggest knock for people who don't really watch boxing, in my opinion, or they're not avid watchers of boxing. Whatever capacity that you enjoy boxing is cool. But in my opinion, and I stand on this, I say it passionately and vehemently, that in my opinion, the people who are really bad about Shakur's style outside of the De Los Santos fight is because you like knockouts. And my point of saying that is that, and that's why I also brought up Devin. I wasn't comparing his style to Devin Haney's, but the point is that they all have similar KO ratios. And if you have a similar KO ratio and you're more popular than Shakur, arguably Floyd is way more popular than Shakur, and Devin was also arguably more popular than Shakur, it's not just predicated off your KO percentage, because I just gave you two people who didn't have a KO percentage, and I did it strategically too, because I could have brought up some other fighters who didn't share a same ethnic background, but I brought up two black fighters specifically to say that you don't have to have a high KO ratio to be popular. That was the point I was making. I can't walk and type for shit. Now you good, Ty. Against Valdez with all these small fighters, it wasn't clinic, but dude was also. I agree with that, Johnny. I think you said that earlier. I forgot to touch on that. Shakur was bigger, you know, but now hey, we at 135 now, so you can't go back in time. But he wasn't bigger than Yoshino. I think he was girthier, more solid than Yoshino, but Yoshino was a big guy. If I had to put money on it, I think Yoshino was taller. In fact, Robson Conceicao, he's not too short. You know, I would once again, I would think that Shakur is naturally bigger, but at the same time, in my opinion, if you can make the weight, it is what it is. I don't like the weight bullying stuff, the super rehydration stuff. I don't like that coming in 20 pounds higher than your weight division. But if you're in the weight division, then hey, it is what it is. But I do agree with you that he was sizably bigger than a lot of his opponents, but not all. Yoshino and him are comparable in size. I do think if somebody asked me $1 million right now, I would say Yoshino is a little bit taller than Shakur, and the Conceicao, I would say that they can't be greater than an inch height disparity, but Valdez was significantly smaller, of course, yes. I agree. Remember Shakur struggles against boxing punches like Nakatalia. Yeah. Nakatila. And De Los Santos. I can't give you De Los Santos because De Los Santos didn't make it a fight, and that's on the onus was on him as a puncher. De Los Santos just didn't punch. Go look at the CompuBox, bro. I don't really understand why De Los Santos and his supporters, the people that root for him, were too mad at the outcome of that fight. Like, De Los Santos didn't. Have you seen De Los Santos? So his stock dropped too. Same with Jermaine Ortiz. You see what I'm saying? So Jermaine Ortiz, Teofimo was exposed and had a shitty performance. Jermaine Ortiz also had a shitty performance. Like I said, man, I don't just like I don't just blame Shakur for that De Los Santos fight. Of course, he's a more popular fight. I also don't just blame Teo, because I also blame your dancing partner. And Jermaine Ortiz was on his bicycle. You know what I'm saying? And De Los Santos was not hunting down Shakur like Teofimo was trying to hunt down Jermaine. That'd be a disingenuous statement at best if you say that. De Los Santos didn't feel, like I said, man, he pulled up on Shakur in his hood, but he ain't pull up where he's supposed to in the ring. That don't make no sense. And you see that you haven't seen Jermaine Ortiz or ever De Los Santos since. You haven't seen him yet. You haven't seen him since. So, you know, I think their stock goes down. Just like I didn't want to see Teofimo after that. You know, I wasn't super excited to see Teofimo again after Jermaine Ortiz. I definitely wasn't excited to see, and I like Jermaine Ortiz. You know, I think he's an A-class fighter. You know, I think he's a very good fighter. I thought he performed well against Lomachenko, but I thought he tried to finesse the boxing game with his performance against Teofimo, and I thought that was terrible. And he had to win because he took a major gamble when he lost. Because if he put on a performance like that was very dull and boring, and not only was it dull and boring, it was contrary to what he typically fights like, which is not a problem, switching up your game plan. But you could tell he did that specifically for Teofimo, and he took away. He lost excitement. Employing a style that he's not even committed to, you know, and so he tried to finesse the boxing game, and I thought that was terrible. You see, you know, he was already a tough fight for anybody, and a fighter that people didn't want to fight, and now he ended up losing. You know, his best hope was to win a belt, so then people would have to fight him. You know, considering that style, but yeah, he's gonna struggle to make fights because he's a tough out, and he might just pull a Teofimo on your ass. So, you know, you just gotta think about stuff like that, man. We gotta think about stuff like that. But anyway, I do think Shakur is gonna shine. All that to be said, I think he's gonna shine against Artem. But then again, once like I said, shining to me may not be shining to the masses. You know, my shine may not be the same as James shine or Ty shine or Johnny shine. You know, we might have different different opinions on looking impressive. You know, I don't think that knockouts are the only way to look impressive. Like I said, man, Tank, the reason why I brought up Cruz again is one of my I was most impressed with Tank was one of the few fights that he didn't KO somebody. That was against Eastside Pitbull Cruz. I thought that was one of his most impressive fights, you know, because I could see how the type of fighter Pitbull Cruz is. He's one dimensional, you know, but what he does, he maximizes it. He does very well. You know, sometimes you'd rather be a jack. You know, they say if you're a jack of all trades, you're a master of none. That's not good. So, you know, he's a master of his one. He doesn't do a lot of things well, but what he does well, he does very well. You know, he's very durable, very aggressive, relentless aggression, and he doesn't stop. You know, so I think Shakur needs to show a different dog. You might be right, Jay. I'm not saying it's a knock, but I don't know. Like I said, the reason why I brought up the other fights, let me pull up his fights, man. I brought up the Conceicao fight, I brought up the Valdez fight, and I brought up the those are his most recent fights. The Yoshino fight. I don't remember being bored on any of those fights. That's the point I'm making. The one I was bored with was De Los Santos. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember being bored. So I got to give him the benefit of the doubt. And like I said, me personally, I'm not saying that's how you feel, but me personally, I didn't just blame him. So if he was having a De Los Santos rematch, then I'll be more concerned. But he's not fighting De Los Santos. And the only time I was pissed off and bored with this fight was the outfit that included Shakur and De Los Santos. It wasn't just Shakur, but we are forgetting that. That's what I said with Teofimo. You know, Teofimo, he's different because Teofimo is supposed to excel and showcase and demonstrate his skills and exhibit his skills and remind us why he's a self-proclaimed takeover. We believe that Teofimo is a potential pound-for-pound top guy. He didn't do that against Steve Clygate. So what was the point of fighting a guy of the caliber of Steve Clygate if you're not going to look great? You know what I'm saying? So now with Shakur, I give him the same opportunity to shine, just like with Teofimo. It's like, okay, bet. Artem Harutyunyan is not the biggest opponent, but he is a good opponent because I think Frank Martin is good, you know, and him losing, only having a loss to Frank Martin, I think is good. And the fact that, you know, I know he's going to come with it, you know, so, but he's not the best opponent. But I also have to consider, too, that Shakur has trouble getting fights, too. Like, so I brought up the example with William Cepeda and others. So he has trouble getting fights. I don't think Artem Harutyunyan is a bad opponent. However, if Shakur struggles like Teofimo did, then Artem becomes a bad opponent. Because now I'm gonna remember that Shakur said that Tank cherry picked Frank Martin. But hold up, you fighting somebody that lost to Frank Martin, the person that you said somebody cherry picked. So I'm gonna remember that, you know. But I think he will look good. If he looks good, it doesn't matter. But if he looks bad against, like, if he barely wins, like, you know, even though Teofimo didn't barely win, he just didn't look good winning. He didn't look good against Steve Clygate at all. He had two big old termite mounds on each eyebrow. You know, he swole up. You know what I'm talking about? So, yeah. So he has to look good against Artem. And I'm okay with the Artem fight because I do know that Shakur is not really sought after to fight, you know. And I think that Bob Arum is not doing a good job promoting him either. So, you know, you got to work with what you got. You know, and Boots is in a similar situation, you know, with Cody Crowley. I say similar, not really similar. Because Cody Crowley I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but a lot of people say that, you know, he wasn't really hurt. You know, he just pulled out because he didn't want that smoke. But I think, I personally believe that David Avedija is a better opponent, not because Cody Crowley's not capable, but because I've seen David Avedija more. And I know that his last, was Terrence Crawford his last fight? I don't know if that was his last fight, but, you know, I know he lost to Terrence Crawford, but he looked pretty good in my opinion. But then again, you know, I give a lot of fighters a lot of credit. You know, like Terrence Crawford is one of the best to me. It's Shakur's mouth, to be honest. Loma isn't a knockout artist or a puncher, but we don't criticize. Well, Ty, that's yes, but then, you know, Loma, I believe, has a, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not looking. I think Loma has a 60% KO rate too, though, Ty. You know, and you say it's his mouth too, but imagine if Shakur was just quiet. Can you imagine where he would be if he was quiet? Do you think he'll be more known or less known? Be honest. I think he'll be less known, you know. So, you know, I don't know, man. Sometimes if they talking good or they talking bad, at least they talking. You know what I'm talking about? All good publicity is good publicity. I really don't feel like if Shakur was quiet, he'll get more love. I disagree with that 1,000%. I think he'll just fall under the radar. No one will be talking about him at all. Like I said, I'm not saying that I don't like his tweeting either. You know, when I see it, you know, I'm not on Twitter that much, but I do see some stuff, and I do get tired of the talking as well. Like I said, he doesn't do himself any favors when he says that Artem Harutyunyan is going to be running. I thought that joke was so funny, but I do think he's going to shine. I do think he's going to look good, and you know, and I also do think when he does look good, people are going to make up something else and say something else. Boots fighting, I be sneezing. Okay, supporter, you better be careful. You know, Smoochie in the building, she gonna get you up out of here. Nah, bro, Pitbull a beast. I agree. His defense underrated. Talk to him, Johnny. He may not have that pretty head movement or footwork, but his guard is so tight. Talk to him, Johnny. Johnny know what he talk about. Drop bombs on him, Johnny. I said fire. Yes, sir. Drop that fire on him, Johnny. Johnny know what the hell he talking about. Bro, Johnny, I don't know if you see my video, bro. Who I said is the best at 140. I ain't say Teofimo. I ain't say Devin Haney. No, sorry. Who did I say do I think is a sleeper best and who I say is going to unify first at 140? I ain't say I like Liam Paro a lot. I didn't say him. I like Super Matias. I like him. This is before Liam Paro beat Super Matias. I like Teofimo. I think Teofimo and Devin Haney are the most skilled. I think Teofimo's number 1. But I said I think Pitbull Cruz is going to unify first. You know what I'm saying? All things equal. Of course, you know, he has a fight against Jose Valenzuela. If Devin Haney and Teofimo fight between now and then, you know, of course they're going to unify first because they're belts. But I'm saying all things equal, I think Pitbull's going to unify. Because I think that they consider him, especially prior to Devin Haney relinquishing his title as champion of recess, and now it's Alberto Puello, and before Liam Paro upset Super Matias, a lot of people were looking at Isaac Pitbull Cruz strictly off his stature as being the weakest link. Bro, Pitbull is one of my favorite fighters, bro. And like I said, I think a lot of people say, oh, he won it from Rolly Romero. Bro, you got to be a good fighter to beat Rolly. So we could talk that trash, bro. But I don't know, maybe I'll be respecting fighters too much, but you're not going to be no scrub and beat Rolly Romero. I'm not saying that he's the best. Of course, he's definitely under Tank. He's definitely under Shakur. He's definitely under T.O. He's definitely under Devin Haney as far as boxing skills go. But you're not going to be no scrub and beat Rolly. That's a fact. So, and the way that Isaac Pitbull Cruz ran through him, the way Tank handled him, maybe I give him too much credit, but I think that Isaac Pitbull Cruz versus Tank fight showed me a lot. I know Tank's hand was hurt, but the fact I still think with Tank's hand hurt, with Tank's hurt hand, I think he's stronger than a lot of. I think he still hits harder than everybody at 140. Especially as a champion. I think he still hits harder than Liam Paro. I still think he hits harder than Teofimo. I still think he hits harder than Devin Haney, of course. You know, and I still think, you know what I'm saying. So you have to be able to not only hit Isaac Pitbull Cruz and get through his impregnable defense, you also have to be able to withstand that tornado, that Tasmanian devil that's going to be relentless on your ass from bell ring. From as soon as round 1, that first bell, he going to be on your ass like white on rice, like stank on shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think a lot of fighters are capable of withstanding that, bro. And that's why I commend Tank a lot for standing in that pocket, man. So I don't think that. All right, we gonna see though. I hope we see it, man. I hope Teofimo and Pitbull fight. And you remember I said that, bro. And Pitbull got a chin. Talk to him. Tank hit that motherfucker without. Talk to him, Johnny. Talk to him. Johnny talking facts. Hit him with all he had. Yeah. Talk to him. It's not the fact that he's talking is what he says that irritates people. Blair Cobbs, they disrespectful, but it's still. Yeah, but is Blair Cobbs where Blair Cobbs at, Ty? Exactly. Blair the Flair. Woo, Cobbs. Where's he at? He talked about. He just fought Adrian Broner on the Don King card. Now, no disrespect to that. I watched it. How many people you think watched it, Ty? You just proved my point. You know what I'm talking about? He's entertaining the who? Don't nobody know Blair. If I say Blair the Flair, whoo, Cobbs, they gonna think I'm talking about Ric Flair. Stop. They gonna think I'm talking about the Nature Boy. Stop it. Stop it. You know better. People will be hard to beat. Facts. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not saying that they don't feel punches, but outside of Canelo when he was young against Miguel Cotto's brother, Jose Cotto, tell me last time you seen him hurt. Same thing with Pitbull. Tell me when you seen him hurt. Tank is different. You know, we never really seen him hurt, but we never seen him get hit a lot. We seen Canelo and Pitbull get hit quite a bit. Have you ever seen him hurt? I've never seen Tank hurt either, but that was for different reasons. I think it's because he doesn't take flush hits. You know, I never seen Shakur hit, but I don't think he takes flush hits either. So that's different. I'm talking about people that we've seen. We've seen Canelo get hit by people at 175. I ain't never seen him hurt. We seen Pitbull get hurt by hit by big punches. I ain't never seen him hurt. You know, Pitbull a dog, bro. He literally a Pitbull. Isaac Cruz has other players that do not include unifying, but he was actually, yeah, I know. He's prioritizing rematching with Tank, but I'm hoping he changes his mind. Pitbull has more confidence. Facts. So yeah, Pitbull definitely one of my favorite fighters too. You know, to watch and like, you know, there's a lot of fighters that are like like my boy Kendrick always say, man, Doc, everybody that's fighting your favorite fighter. I like a lot of fighters, man. I can't help it. You know, I like a lot of. I like boxing, man. You know what I'm saying? I like El Monstro. You know, Canelo and Tank are two of my favorite fighters, but I don't hate Shakur because I like Tank. I don't hate David Benavidez because I like Canelo. Hell, I love watching them fight too. I do not like Shakur's last performance, but I love watching them fight too because I love boxing. I never feel compelled to choose a side. I will tell you my honest opinion that I think that this person will beat this person because of such and such. You know, even with Canelo and David Benavidez, I want to see that fight just like everybody else. But I like Canelo And I think Canelo wins. I think Canelo wins to the body. You know what I'm saying? I do. So I could give you reasonings, but as far as me just like, oh yeah, like I said, I bet money on Ryan Garcia because I thought stylistically Ryan Garcia would beat Devin Haney, and I liked him a little more because I respected Ryan Garcia. As you can say whatever you want about him, but he was the only one out of the big guys at 140 and 135. You know, Tank, Lomachenko, Shakur, Teofimo, Devin Haney, Subra Matias. He was the only one that was actually saying and proving that he would fight him. He fought Tank, and then he went to fight Devin Haney. You know, I just didn't know that he was going to be strapped up with Austrian and PEDs when he went to fight him. So like I said, I won money on betting off Ryan Garcia. Half the people that are screaming conspiracy and that, oh, they knew he was going to beat Devin Haney, you ain't put no change up. You ain't put no pennies up. I guarantee you ain't make no money, so I bet money on it. However, I don't love Ryan Garcia to the fact where I'm going to omit and neglect the fact that he was on PEDs, that he tested positive, and nor do I hate Devin Haney so much to where I want him to lose by any means necessary. No, I love boxing, man. You know, they're no kin to me. You know, I'm just called for like I see it. The man failed multiple tests. He cheated. It is what it is. I don't condone cheating. It is what it is. Just say, I'm sorry, it was an accident, or whatever you want to say, unintentional. Take your punishment and keep it pushing. But you want to go ahead and blame your doctor, blame your auntie, your third cousin, say that your dog came and sprayed an Austrian-filled toothpaste on your toothbrush the night before the fight. You want to say all this other stuff and renege and blame Zab Judah, Victor Conti, Scooter. Who the hell is Scooter? I just found out who he was. I seen his face, but I ain't know his name. Until Ryan Garcia went out there snitching. Dry snitching, too, and lying. If you going to snitch on me, at least let it be the truth. I don't mind, you know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to snitch on me, but if you gonna snitch on me, please make sure I did it. You see what I'm saying? Damn, if you gonna tell it, at least tell the damn truth. You over here snitching and lying. That's crazy, bro. You can't be lying and snitching. So yeah, I don't respect that at all. But I say all that to say that I'm not going, you know, like with Zhang and Wilder. I like Big Bang Zhang, but I like Wilder more. But who did I say was gonna win that fight? I said I thought Zhang would win that fight, and Zhang won. So I ain't gonna be biased to the point where I'm picking somebody over. Now, would my slight bias maybe make me lean towards somebody else if it's an even fight, which I think Shakur and Tank is just as even as you. Tank and Shakur, in my opinion, is probably as even as it gets in boxing outside of Bivol and Beterbiev. Not even Bivol and Beterbiev. I think Bivol and Beterbiev is going to be closer in our minds and on paper. I think in the ring, I said this too. I don't know who's going to win. Sometimes I pick Bivol. Some days I pick Beterbiev. It depends on what day you ask me. But I think when they actually step in the ring, I think it's either going to be significantly one-sided for Bivol. He going to put on a boxing clinic. Or it's going to be significantly one-sided for Beterbiev, and he's going to get him out of there by like the 5th or 6th round. I think it's going to be one. But on paper, but the fights that I really think are about even, on paper, I think it'll be even in the ring is probably Shakur and Gervonta. I think the Canelo and Beterbiev is going to be even while it lasts. I don't think that goes a distance. But I think that's going to be pretty even too. But outside of those two fights, man, I think those are probably two of the most even fights, you know, but I lean towards Tank because I think that Shakur and Tank, I think Shakur's boxing skills, his technical skills are slightly better than Tank's, but I don't think the disparity in skill is that far off. And I still think that Tank has another level that hasn't been seen, but I definitely know that the power disparity is large. The same with Beterbiev and Bivol. Like Bivol, I think that he's slightly, it's kind of like Shakur and Tank. I think that Bivol is slightly the better boxer, but I know that power disparity is huge, you know, and Beterbiev, I think he's a underrated boxer as well, as far as skills go. So that's a tough one for me to call. And depending on how I go to sleep and how I wake up. We've seen Tank and Canelo stunned, but never rocked. Right. Well, Canelo a long time ago, like I said, Ty, yeah, but they don't take clean shots. Facts. Canelo's head movement was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Floyd for that. That's what I tell people, too. I think Jaime Munguia could also improve a lot from losing to Canelo. You know, as long as he stays dedicated, I think Frank Martin could improve a lot from losing to Tank. You know, just like Canelo, man. You could argue that Canelo's loss to Floyd Mayweather was the best thing that happened to his career. Because then he came back with, you know, he implemented head movement in his game. He implemented more ring generalship. You know what I'm saying? More precise punching. Boxing will miss Ryan's drunk antics. I don't think so, James. I think only the people that, excuse me, who misses Ryan's antics. You know, I thought it was funny, of course, but I don't have to see Ryan Garcia box another day in his life or my life. I don't have to see it. I don't think boxing will miss it. I think that the people that watch show, no disrespect to anybody who does watch these shows, but people who like Bad Girls Club and reality TV shows like, I don't know, Real Wives of Hollywood and stuff like that, and Bachelor and, you know, Bachelorette and stuff like that, where, you know, and Jersey Shore. I think those are people that appreciate Ryan Garcia, and they'll miss Ryan Garcia's antics. But I don't really, you know, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. I watched Ryan Garcia. I watched when he fought Javier Fortuna. I watched when he fought Luke Campbell, all the way, and Tank, of course. But when I was watching Tank versus Ryan Garcia, I was more excited for Tank, not Ryan Garcia. I'm be honest. So I don't have to see Ryan Garcia fight ever again. That won't make me no difference. But you're right. The casual fans, I agree, James. Like, people who don't really watch, I miss his antics. Merle in the building, big member in the building. Please don't forget to like the video, y'all. You'll miss his antics. How long have you been? Honestly though, Merle, and no disrespect, I want you to be honest. You're an honest dude. You know what I'm saying? You keep it funky. You know what I'm talking about? How many antics have you seen of Ryan Garcia's? How long have you been seeing his antics? I will go out on a limb that you've been watching Ryan Garcia's antics since Devin Haney fight. Tell me I'm lying. And you're the person I'm talking about. And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying, like, for me and James is saying that. James don't believe that. James gonna watch boxing regardless. James ain't gonna miss his antics. Ryan was cheap entertainment. The stupidity of him was always. No, it's definitely funny. Don't get me wrong. I liked it while I watched it. But I don't believe too many people are gonna, man, stop it, man. Man, stop it, man. Ain't nobody watching boxing for no damn Ryan Garcia. If you watching boxing for Ryan Garcia, because you're not watching boxing, in my opinion. 3 or 4? Okay. I want to see what Tank actually looks like at full 140. Does the power carry it without a rehydration stipulation against naturally bigger guys? We seen how a guy like Shane and Durant KO. Yeah, Ty, I'm gonna be honest, man. I differ, and I know people will say, oh, because you like Tank. I've never been a fan of one way to greatness. Like, there's multiple ways to greatness. Like, for example, Naya Inoue and Terrence Crawford, they're undisputed 2-weight divisions. They're great, right? You know what I'm saying? Pacquiao never was undisputed. He got 8. He's a champion in 8 different divisions, or 6 different divisions, like you say, whatever. Technically 6, whatever. Anyway, a lot, right? He never became undisputed. He's still great. Floyd Mayweather didn't even care about belts once he got big. He was still great, right? He was the undisputed, right? He was still great. The executioner, B-Hop. He had the record for the most successful title defenses. He didn't travel and traverse different weight divisions. He primarily stayed at middleweight. He had 20 straight defenses. He's a Hall of Fame fighter. He's great. His greatness can't be questioned. So I don't think, me personally, Tank, to me, he's not like Devin Haney, who's 5'10", 5', however tall they are. You know, he's 5'5". You know what I'm saying? Pitbull's 5'4.5", whatever. So they don't have to go to 135. You know, I love Bam Rodriguez's answer when they asked him about Naya Inoue. He's like, man, I just got to 115, bro. I have some stuff I need to handle at 115. I don't think there's anything wrong with staying at your weight, at one weight, or whatever weight you're comfortable at, and dominating. So I could care less if Tank moves up. But I would like to see it, because I want to see the Teofimo fight and the Devin Haney fight and the Shakur fight. I think the Shakur and Lomachenko ones I think those two are the ones that can happen at 135, but the rest, they have to happen at 140. So, but I don't think he has to move up. I'm not really a big fan of mandating a particular path to greatness. There's so many different paths to greatness. You know, it doesn't involve one thing. You know, we get so accustomed to seeing one person do it, so we want to see this person do that too. But you don't have to. There's plenty of ways to greatness, man. Did I say 115? I still think he comes back. You right. It was before Haney, but not all the foolery he beat out. Right. My current fighters right now are Canelo, Tank, Ryan, Pitbull, Crawford, and Boots. Blacks and Mexicans, we run this shit. You know, but I ain't gonna lie. I'm big on. I like this fight. I also like Tyson Fury too. I also like Liam Paro, who's Australian. You know, it's funny because I know those of you that are been in the stream for a while. I called Liam Paro since last year. I said, because I give out little awards. You know, I just started my boxing channel, but I've been doing content creation for a while. I just started my boxing channel in December, but Liam Paro, I said Liam Paro is going to have he's going to make the biggest impression in 2024. I gave him what we call the forecast of the year. I said Liam Paro, I didn't know he was going to fight Super Matias. You know, I was nervous about that, you know, but I said Liam Paro is going to be the biggest, he was going to make the biggest impression in 2024, and sure enough, he did. So I'm big on Liam Paro. I like, but yeah, my favorite, I'm with you. I like Canelo, and if I had to pick 2 fighters, Canelo and Tank, but I like Bud, I like Errol Spence, I like Tyson Fury, I like Liam Paro, I like Pitbull, I liked Ryan Garcia. I don't like the way, you know, I would have been cool. I even gave him the benefit of the doubt. I said, man, he probably cheated unintentionally, but cheating, you're not exempt due to negligence. You know, you're still liable. So just because you didn't cheat intentionally doesn't mean you didn't cheat. If it's in your system, you cheated, and I was cool with that. You know, it's like I like Canelo. You know, Canelo never cleared himself of clenbuterol. He just cleared himself of intentional ingestion or intake of the PED. You know, and I still like Canelo, so I don't pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? I don't pick and choose to trust the ruling of the powers that be or the authoritative figure or whoever's going to administer the investigation. If they say he cheated, then I take it, whether it's a fighter that I like or don't like. If they say that they administered an investigation, carried out an investigation, and they said that, okay, we found out that he or she didn't cheat intentionally, I'm cool with that too. It doesn't matter if I like him or dislike him. So, but I thought the way Ryan Garcia handled it was ass. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was very negligent. We see people in boxing get hurt all the time, you know, and I feel like he's trying to act like the victim, and Devin Haney's the only victim, whether you like Devin Haney or not. So I just don't like the way Ryan Garcia carried himself. So if Ryan Garcia would have proved that it was unintentional, I'd still like Ryan Garcia, but I can't like him as much because of his antics. I can't rock with that. I think that shit foul. I think that shit weak. You think we'll see Tank versus Tio? I don't think so, James. I ain't gonna lie. I don't think. Well, I do think we'll see it, but not anytime soon. I think that, first of all, I don't think that Tank moves up to 140, but I do think he makes exceptions at 140. So I think he does fight Tio towards the end of his career. If he said he has 6-7 fights left, I hope he has more. But if he's true to that, then I would assume that Tio and Shakur would be that 6th or 7th fight. I'm gonna be honest. Only if assuming that Tio keeps winning. Yo, Round One Sports are Edwin in the building. Like to see Keyshawn. Man, I ain't gonna lie, James. I'm actually most excited for the O'Shaquie Foster and Robson Conceicao fight, man. Conceicao's a good ass fighter, man. I'm mad that we didn't get to see Conceicao and Navarrete run it back. You know, there's a couple draws I want to see run back. I want to see Ray Vargas and Nick Ball ran back. That was a draw. I want to see Conceicao and Navarrete ran back. That was a draw. I want to see Rafael Espinosa and Robesi Ramirez ran back. That wasn't a draw, but it was a close. That fight was close as hell. Wasn't a draw per se, but you got to start covering L. Brooks. Come on. Come on, bro. Yeah, I can't believe you said she got the butt meat out, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Yeah, you wild. He said she got the butt meat out.
What?
Hey, yo, come on, bro. What we doing, man? No Diddy, man. What we doing, man? You wildin'. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You wildin'. Oh yeah, thank you, Ty, about the terms. I forgot to say, I don't mind. I really wish that the sanctioning bodies would do like what WBC has recently implemented, right? The 10-pound or is it 12-pound? I don't remember. I know you know. But the IBF and the WBC, they have the regulation to where it's really a rehydration clause. That's exactly what it is. It regulates and limits and puts a threshold on how much you could rehydrate to or put on, you know, in excess pounds the day of the fight. So I wish that all sanctioned bodies will implement something like that, so then we won't have to have rehydration clause. I don't like the when fighters try to drain themselves as low as they can, and then when they lose, they say, "Oh, there was a rehydration clause on me." Well, don't fight at 135 if you can't, a la Ryan Garcia. That's nobody's fault. Hey, look though. I'm thorough. You have never heard me make an excuse for the Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight when it comes to the weight. Hey, you agree to the terms. It is what it is, baby. You're a grown ass man. You agree to the terms, then that's what it is. You know, and he agreed to the 3 pounds of Ryan Garcia being overweight. But on the flip side, I'm not going to give Ryan Garcia the benefit of the doubt of saying, oh, you know, it's because he was weight drained when he fought Tank. No, he accepted those terms. And if you can't make the weight, don't complain about it afterwards. Stop trying to kill yourself so you can have an event. Bro, when you can't abide by the weight, it's because it's a form of cowardice. If you want to look at it like that, you're literally mad that someone isn't letting you be a weight bully. That's essentially what it is. Let's keep it 100. That's what it is. Well, basically, Rafael was a fight of the year. Talk to him, Johnny. Talk to him, Johnny. Don't be biased. It's still boxing. He said I'll be a bias because I'm not covering L. Brooks and what's that joke called? Misfits Boxing. I'll be a bias. Well, damn it, I'm biased. Then I ain't gonna lie. I'm not covering though. Hell, you know, I've never seen a Jake Paul fight. I refuse. I don't watch boxing to see boxers do what I could do. You see what I'm saying? It's like I don't watch high school basketball because I used to play basketball in high school. I feel like I could do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I'm as good as every high school basketball player. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying that I was good enough to play high school basketball. I was on my high school team. I'm not finna watch high school basketball players, but I'm a damn sure watch LeBron, Giannis, and Steph Curry them because I can't do that shit they doing. So basically, on the flip side, I'm not finna watch Jake Paul fight ex-basketball players, retired MMA fighters, because I feel like I can fight those guys and beat those guys too. If I'm gonna watch boxing, I'm gonna watch some people do what I don't know if I can do. Like Tank, and this coming from somebody who I used to box at the amateur level. I'm gonna watch Tank fight. I'm gonna watch Floyd fight. I'm gonna watch Tyson Fury fight. I'm gonna watch Canelo fight. I'm gonna watch Jesse Bam Rodriguez fight. I'm not finna watch Jake Paul fight. I feel like I can whoop them bitches too. Excuse me. But my point is that the first fight that I was gonna watch with Jake Paul was gonna be him against Mike Tyson because of my reverence for Mike Tyson, my respect and reverence for the icon, the legendary Mike Tyson. That would be the first fight that I ever watched of Jake Paul. I'm not watching no Jake Paul. No knock at anybody who watches it, but that's not for me. So I'm not gonna watch no content creator box. I'm not knocking it. That's just not for me. You know, I'm not gonna watch somebody do what I feel like I could do. You know, I'm here to watch professional sports at the world-class level, professional athletes. You feel me? So nah. Jake Paul fought an actual boxer with a similar level and lost, right? Tyson Fury's half brother, step brother, adopted brother, whatever he was. What's his name? Tommy Fury, whatever his name was. I'm not watching. I'm not knocking it. It's just not for me. Not my cup of tea. I have no shame saying that. Get your money. I'd never knock somebody getting money. That's when you're a hater. You know, do your thing. I respect and encourage all entrepreneurial endeavors. You know, but I'm not finna support. I'm not finna watch it. It doesn't entertain me. I watch sports for entertainment. Sports entertainment. It's the WBA with the 12. Yeah, WBA. Thank you. Opted not to adopt this stipulation because of specific. Hey, talk to him, Ty. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. They didn't adopt it because of specific boxing.
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, man. Everybody should have that, man. I think that would make it less dangerous. I also think it will clean up the sports with some of these supplements and not necessarily banned substances, but everybody talk about they worry about the supplements taken, whether it's legal or illegal. I think that'll clean up some of the supplement intake. There's a lot of supplements being used and a lot of the processes and procedures that fighters are taking advantage of it has to do with weight cutting and rehydration, including IVs and some more shit. Let's talk about it, man. So when you get mad at somebody having a rehydration clause, I mean, I don't knock it. I'm not saying that I love it, but I don't knock it. I understand. Because you're going to have somebody come in like Devin Haney did against Regis, you know, but that's what they agreed to. But it is what it is. He came in looking like Canelo. He's at 165. Or even like Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, the weight they both look like they probably weighed upwards of 170 that night when they fought each other, you know, so. But yeah, I never make weight an excuse because that's what the two grown men agree to. If you agree to that, that's what it is. And ducked Jake because, Jake ducked Hasim Rahman when he realized he could actually make weight. Oh, you talking about Hasim Rahman's son, right? Was he about to fight Hasim Rahman or Hasim Rahman's son? I think you're talking about his son, correct? But yeah, so I just think, yeah, but anyway, I think Shakur, man, will look good. Now, will he look good to where the public will accept it? I don't know. But, and I'm going to give, if he looks, yeah, Junior. Okay, yeah, his son. Okay, man. I just want to make sure. So, I'm about to say, man, you never know, man. Everybody coming out of retirement for that Jake Paul money. You know what I'm talking about? You should have seen Rodman ain't no older than Mike Tyson. That's why I had to make sure. But yeah, I think Shakur looks good. But for me, personally, I think the best fight of the night is going to be Shakur Foster Shock versus Robson Conceicao, man. And I didn't realize he's like 2 or 3 inches taller than Shock. I knew he was taller, but I didn't know he's that significantly taller, you know. And Conceicao's a good fighter where is he out of Brazil? We got America versus Brazil. So I think that fight's gonna be a very good fight. I think Keyshawn Davis, I think it's gonna be a good fight while it lasts, but I expect Davis to get Madueno out of there. His name I saw Madueno's last fight on Pro Box. He was a good fighter too, but he's gonna come forward. I think that this guy is gonna be, unless the worst case scenario happens where, well, I mean, good case scenario for Madueno, you know, unless Keyshawn Davis gets, you know, bum rush and he loses, you know, I think that this guy, his style is made. I ain't gonna say tailor made, but it's a good style for Keyshawn Davis to shine. And if Keyshawn Davis is who I think he is, you know, he only has 10 fights, but he looks exceptional. I think he's gonna look very good. Abdullah Mason's on that card too. I don't know who he's fighting, but we have to give credit to Jake Paul. He's a great business. Facts. Arnold, I give him that. But like I said, I salute his entrepreneurial endeavors. I said that. We gonna definitely give love where it's due, but I ain't gotta watch it. You know what I'm saying? It's like WNBA. Don't you respect them women? That don't mean you gotta watch. I watch it, you know, and I make videos. I just made it. Go check out my WNBA video I just made. Turn up on the WNBA, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the players, all the rookie sensations, especially Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, but also Rakia Jackson, Aaliyah Edwards, you know, Kalia Cardosa, Brink, you know what I'm talking about? Cameron Brink, even though she's injured right now. I really watched that jump, man. I always watched women basketball, though. I liked it when I was legit, you know, the baller. growing up when my brother played, but my cousin who was closer to my age, she played, and I remember having to go watch her. I used to have to go to some of her practices because I was, because she was watching me and stuff like that. So I've always, and then my girl in high school, she played hoops. So, but yeah, just because you don't watch WNBA, don't necessarily mean you're knocking it. It's just that you don't like it, and that's okay too. But yeah, I definitely salute Jake Paul for the stuff he's doing as a businessman. Yeah, but I don't mean I gotta watch it. I'm not gonna act like I'm entertained just cause. Keyshawn versus the other kid, Manson, would be a good one. Abdullah Mason. I don't know. I don't want that fight yet, man. I don't want. I feel like you're right. You're right. That would be a good fight. But I don't want. I also, you know what? I also don't want. I don't want Kid Austin. I hope that Abdullah Mason and Floyd Schofield, Kid Austin, don't fight yet. Because you know what's crazy? Because Abdullah Mason actually has more fights than Keyshawn Davis. I don't know about their amateur pedigree. I don't know who has more fights than the amateurs. I want to say, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not even going to guess. I would lean towards Keyshawn, but, Abdullah Mason actually has more fights than Keyshawn. Because Keyshawn only has 10. Abdullah Mason has like 12 or 13. But who do you think is the more pro-ready? I would say Keyshawn. But yeah, so but my point is that I don't want them to fight yet. I'm being selfish though. I don't want Abdullah Mason and Floyd Schofield to fight yet because I think that's a future, maybe not mega fight, but a super fight. I don't want Keyshawn Davis to fight even Andy Cruz. Andy Cruz only has 2 or 3 fights, but I don't want that fight to happen yet. People only want it because of amateur. They're trying to hold the amateur record over Keyshawn Davis's head. It was just crazy. I never heard this before. Hell, Sean Porter beat Alexander Usyk in amateurs. What are we doing? But I would like to see that later. I also want to see Virgil Ortiz and Jerron Boots Ennis. I want to see that later. I think that's a potential mega fight as well, or super fight. But I'm the type of person, full disclosure, I also thought that Austin No Doubt Trout versus Saul Canelo Alvarez, Old Cinnamon, when they fought, I thought it was too early. I thought that could have been a potential super fight as well, but it is what it is. Because, you have 2 upcoming prospects. It's like, man, I'm not saying hold out forever, but, I think at least let them both have some belts. Make that at least a unification, in my opinion, because, they look very good. Abdullah Mason looks good, Keyshawn looks good, Andy Cruz looks good, Kid Austin looks good. All them young men look good, man. Pause. That sounded crazy. There you go. In a boxing respect.
What?
What's my other boy? It's a young bull, man. He looked good too. I can't remember his name right now. Anyway. Abdullah Mason beats both Keyshawn. Oh, you think he beats Keyshawn, Todd? Ooh, I don't know about Keyshawn. I favor Abdullah Mason over Kid Austin right now, but Keyshawn, I don't know. I don't know about Keyshawn. Andy Cruz beats them all. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if he beats Keyshawn again. I think Keyshawn tough, man. I think Andy Cruz. I will say this though about Andy Cruz. In my opinion, Andy Cruz is one of the most complete fighters out right now. That man, Andy Cruz, seemingly has it all, but it's a little too early. I gotta see him fight a little more. He is fighting Antonio Moran on the Terrence Bud Crawford card, August 3rd. That's a good fight. Antonio Moran, I think he's a good gatekeeper to let you know if you could beat him impressively, then you got something for sure. Definitely know you're a good fighter. But yeah, August 3rd card is great, man. That's great, man. It has Terrence Bud Crawford versus Israel Madrimov. You got Jared Big Baby Anderson versus Martin Bacoli. You got Jarrell Big Baby Anderson versus Andrew Ruiz Jr. You got David Morrell versus Hot Rod. David Morrell making his debut at light heavyweight. And then you got Andy Cruz versus Antonio Moran. Of course, we were supposed to see Virgil Ortiz versus Tim Tszyu. But Tim Tszyu, he had to pull out due to his cut, So I thought that would have been a great fight right there, too. That would have been a pick 'em. Yo, Tech Dumb Dad in the building. Brethren, what it do? What's good, brethren? I'm basing this off of if they all fought right now. Yeah, nah, that's good. I'm not arguing. I'm just telling you where I lean towards, because I couldn't argue definitively for either one. I would just lean towards. I got Abdullah Mason beating Floyd Schofield in a very good fight. If Abdullah and Keyshawn fought right now, I think that's a pick 'em, but I would lean towards Keyshawn. If Andy Cruz and Keyshawn fought right now, I think that's a pick 'em, but I'll lean towards Keyshawn. Abdullah Mason and Andy Cruz fought right now, I might lean towards Andy Cruz, in my opinion. Yes, sir. Tech in the building. But those are all good fights, man. I hope they happen. Those are some of the fights that I hope happen later than sooner. But of course, if they happen, they're great fights. So I do think that some of the fights should not be rushed. You know, I mean, same with Bam Rodriguez. Like, bro, the man ain't even go to 118. They talking about him going from 115 to 122 to fight Nye anyway. You want to go to super bantamweight? He's not even in bantamweight. Yeah, come on, bro. Yeah, super flyweight, bro. I mean, I guess you could say yeah, bantamweight if you call it junior bantamweight, but damn. Let these fighters, like, you know what I'm saying? Let featherweight, you know, let Shushu go ahead and, you know, let Shushu go ahead and grab a belt at gosh dang featherweight, man. You got, you know, you got Nick Ball, you got Ray Vargas, you got Rafael Espinoza, you got Luis Lopez at 126. You know, let Shushu go and become a contender and get a belt up there. Before we talk about a potential Nye Inoue fight, man. Let these fighters grow, man. Because I do think that Shushu has a skill set to beat Nye Inoue. But just because you have the skill set don't mean you can do it. You know, Nye Inoue is a beast. He's a monster for a reason. You know, and let Bam Rodriguez, he just got to 115, man. Let him get his Juan Francisco Estrada rematch. And that's actually more intriguing than people think, man. El Gallo, the gosh dang rooster. El Gallo in Spanish is rooster, right? So the rooster, like I told people, man, Juan Francisco Estrada has beat everybody that he's fought up until Jesse Bam Rodriguez. Not that he was undefeated, but he was similar to Lennox the Lion Lewis. That if he lost or had a draw, he avenged it. He fought you again and said, let me get that back in blood. Let me get that. You know what I'm talking about? His revenge arc is crazy. You see what I'm saying? So if you get him, you know he going to come back at you. You know what I'm talking about? So that's why this rematch is intriguing. It's intriguing in two ways. Number one, he was coming off a little sabbatical, right? He had a little layoff, right? Significant layoff. That's why some people said he looked rusty. So he could come back stronger, number one, potentially. Number two, which is most important to me, he has beat everybody that he fought. So him getting a rematch, historically speaking, Juan Francisco Estrada is going to be better in the rematch. That's fire. I said fire. So, you know what I'm saying? So don't sleep or don't. Jesse Bam Rodriguez better not get too comfortable on that throne. Estrada come back for that get back. So, you know what I'm saying? That's so Bam could fight at 115 against now, if you asking me to put money on it, I got Bam. With all that said, I got Bam. But I'm saying that's not, you know, it's not a foregone conclusion. Give respect to the legend. I think people are counting him out because he's 34. If you didn't know he was 34, nobody would say he look old, bro. That's another thing that gets on my nerves. You just saying that because you know he's 34. Stop it, man. Stop it. It's the same with Lomachenko. If you didn't know he was 36, the way he just stopped Kambosos in the 11th round, nobody would say that. No one would give a damn about his age, man. People are just saying that so when Tank beats him or Shakur beats him, they can say, oh, it's because he was old, man. Stop it, man. Stop it, man. Shit, Alexander Usyk is 37 and he just got undisputed. Stop it, man. Zhang is 41. He just beat Wilder. Stop it, man. Stop it, man. Not saying that, you know, Archer Beterbiev is about to be in the light heavyweight undisputed with Bivol. He's 40. Stop it, man. Not everybody ages differently, and you know, when you're older and you have ring mileage, that's something else too. But you know, just stop it, man. But yeah, 115, man. He could fight Juan Francisco Estrada. He could fight David Jimenez from Colombia, not Colombia with a U, like District of Columbia, DC. From Colombia with an O, out there in South America. You know, Bam Rodriguez can fight him. He can fight Kazuto Ioka. He can fight what's his name, Kosei Tanaka. Come on, bro. There's a lot of fighters you can fight, man. Is there a rematch clause? Absolutely, supporter. He said he's going to enable that thing. You know, he's going to enact that thing. Yes, sir. There is a rematch clause.
Yeah.
Yeah, El Gallo is known for spinning blocks. Talk to him spinning blocks with the Uzi, too. I'm talking about with the rapid fire joint. I'm talking about he locked on like Call of Duty numbers. You may think he got a, what that thing called? A Zen. You may think he cheating. He got the headshot on deck. You feel me? So he spin the block with accuracy, you know? So people saying that, oh yeah, Jesse Bam Rodriguez just definitively gonna beat him. Yeah, man, I call BS.
Bullshit! Bullshit! Bullshit, 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 bullshit.
You said Zepeda will smoke Giovanni Cabrera? Ooh, or no, I think that's gonna be a good fight, man. Remember Giovanni Cabrera had a good fight against Pitbull. Remember, he was slick enough to frustrate Pitbull too. So that was a good fight. You know, some people argue that Giovanni Cabrera won. I thought it could have went either way. You know, I was cool with Pitbull winning, but I thought it could have went either way. Giovanni Cabrera is a good fighter, man. I think it's a good test. And I think Zepeda and Pitbull are very similar, too. I just think that Zepeda is a more refined version of Pitbull. While Pitbull they're both aggressive and they both put a lot of pressure, I think William Zepeda is more judicious. I mean, I know he throws a higher punch output, but he kind of more selective with his spots. And once he gets going, he don't stop. Pitbull is just relentless. He's just going from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? I think you're afforded a little bit more spots to breathe against Zepeda than you are with Pitbull. So I see Zepeda as, although he throws a high volume of punches. I think he broke the record in the comp box or something crazy like that for the amount of punches thrown. I still think that he picks his spots a little bit more with Pitbull. He's more a little more refined, if you will. I think Gervonta beats Rollies. I agree with that, Johnny. I concur. We are in concurrence with that. If Giovanni Cabrera fights Rolly Romero, I got Cabrera. Shushu beats Espinosa. Ooh, 6-1 though. Hey, Tech, that's 6-1. I think I'm be honest, man. I think Pitbull could run it at 126, but boy, it's gonna be tough. I think 126. I'm be honest. I think 126 is one of the toughest divisions, man. I think Ray Vargas is 5'11". You know, I think him and Nick Ball need to run it back. So I mentioned earlier. I think Nick Ball, no disrespect to Nick Ball, but I think Nick Ball is the weakest link at 126, but he's still good. You know, I just think if I had to pick one, I think Luis Lopez is above Nick Ball. I think Ray Vargas is above Nick Ball. Well, I'm not sure about Ray Vargas. I think they need to run, but I would lean towards Ray Vargas. But Rafael Espinosa, in my opinion, I think he's the best. But I think Shushu does well against them, yeah. But I got to see it. I can't just, you know, it's tough. You go as Zepeda. I got Zepeda. No, I got Zepeda being Cabrera. He said Rollies. Dude, I said all that to say Giovanni Cabrera is going to be a good fight, but I got Zepeda winning, of course. I think Zepeda's going to win, absolutely. But Zepeda's going to have a tough outing early, but ultimately, yeah, I agree. I think he stops him too, but I think he's going to be tough early. I agree. And if Cabrera gets an upset, I know that's not saying much, but I wouldn't be too surprised. But I got Zepeda winning. But I think people are sleeping on Giovanni Cabrera. I'm actually surprised this fight is not getting more push than this, more promotion. Shoes could be Espinosa. We see how Robesi almost not. That's a good point. Zepeda can be careless at times. I know that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Why you think he pump faking with the Shakur call out? I think Shakur beats Zepeda. But I think Zepeda's good though. I saw somebody say, why has Zepeda got Doc happy fourth? Yo, Dot came through with the big bread. You know what I'm talking about? Appreciate that, Dot. My boy Dot in the building. Gotta give him the air horn. Happy 4th of July to you too, my brother, man. Salute to all the veterans, all the soldiers, you know what I'm saying? I got a couple homies that are soldiers, or ex-soldiers, you know. Big salute to all the soldiers, you know, sacrificing for our freedom. You know what I'm talking about? Big salute to them. Thank you for the big up America. And appreciate you dropping that bread. You know what I'm saying? Dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
Yo, man, big $2 in the chat. I appreciate that, Dot. My boy Dot with the dot. You know what I'm talking about? On my head top. I appreciate that. Yes, sir. Drop those emotes, man. Big golden emote, man. My boy Kendrick in the building. Let's get right. Big member in the building. I appreciate that, brethren. Zepeda can be careless at times. Yeah, Arnold, I agree. But I got Zepeda. I'm gonna be honest. At 135, bro. Hey, don't shoot me down. I got Zepeda over Loma. Fuck you talking about? Run it right now, Arnaldo. I put bread on it right now. I got Zepeda over Loma. What we doing? I got Zepeda over Loma. Facts. Only people I got beating Zepeda is Tank and Shakur. At 135 right now. Of course, it might be somebody that we sleeping on. We don't know. But at the champions and the contenders at 135 right now, the only people I got over Zepeda is Tank and Shakur. Zepeda and Loma fought right now. I got Zepeda. I got Giovanni beating Zepeda. That's just me. Make sure you do a live after the fight so we can see who's right. Oh, Johnny. Oh, yeah, you're new to the stream. I provide boxing commentary for all the fights. You know what I'm saying? That means if it's in England on a Sunday while they eating crumpets, I'm on live, bro. I love boxing, bro. It's kind of, I'm like a crackhead when it comes to the BoxingTingz, man. I'm not just watching fights on Saturday in Vegas providing boxing commentary. Chad, I'm lying, bro. If they're in Japan with Naya Inoue at 4:30 in the morning, going up on the Tuesday, we here. We got the club going up on the Tuesday, 4:30 in the morning. You know what I'm talking about? You know, we here, bro, providing live boxing commentary, man. God is good. You know, I have my PhD in engineering. You know, but you know, I took some time after I graduated. You know, with my doctorate degree, I wanted to chase my dream to stream, man. You know, and God is, you know, we not where we want to be yet, but that's part of the journey, man. And God has blessed me with the opportunity to, and the nuts and the cojones to chase my dream, you know. And so I'm going all, I'm giving her all she got. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we do make it, good Lord willing, put that good energy and vibes into the universe. But if we don't make it, it ain't gonna be for a lack of trying. I promise you that. You know what I'm talking about? You gonna have to be. I'm gonna go out on my shield like Errol Spence. Thank you, Tech. See my boy Tech vouching for me. He know me. I'm out there in England with it, bro. What you mean? We about to watch Fisher versus what's his name? Fisher versus Babbitt. We about to watch that heavyweight fight. Oh, we watching that. Johnny Fisher. We watching that, bro. That's a fact. I don't care where it's at, man. I love boxing, bro. I don't care if you black, white, Hispanic, Asian, male, female, homosexual, heterosexual, you know, whatever you are, or somewhere in between, man. Christian, atheist, I'm watching boxing. I love boxing. You know, whatever your lifestyle is, ain't got nothing to do with me, man. I love boxing, man. Why you like boxing, I don't know, but I know why I like boxing, because I like the sport. This is a great channel. You know you're boxing, but I appreciate that, Johnny. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate that compliment, man. It means a lot, bro. It depends on when Zepeda gets Loma, man. Zepeda gets him tomorrow. I got Zepeda, Ty. I'll put a little $2 on it. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Dot. Dot just gave me $2. I could bet $2, Ty. I'm good for it. You see the $2 in the chat? We could bet a little $2, Ty. We could bet a little $2, put a little $2 on it. You know what I'm talking about? I'm good for it. You saw us covered, man. Doctor, I appreciate that, Brethren. I appreciate that, mi hermano Arnaldo. Gracias, muchas gracias. Appreciate that, Brethren. But yeah, man. So yeah, I really rock with boxing, man. You know, so I'm really looking forward to, like I said, the fight that I'm looking for on Saturday. I want to see Zepeda and Cabrera, but the fight I'm looking forward to most is Robson Conceicao and O'Shaquie Foster, man. I hope O'Shaquie Foster locked in, because I ain't see Robson Conceicao disappoint me yet. I ain't gonna lie. And neither has O'Shaquie Foster. But, man, that's going to be a tough fight, man. I think O'Shaquie could win. But I don't really have a horse in that race. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to enjoy that one. I think that's a 50-50 fight, man. I think that's a 50-50 fight. Oh, boy, Dot. Big facts. I think that's a 50-50 fight, man. My boy from Brazil. You know what I'm saying? We going to see, man. And then Keyshawn and Madueno. I got Keyshawn for sure. Of course, I have Shakur over Artem. That's going to be a good fight, too, though. Because I think Artem's going to bring it. I trust him to not pull a De Los Santos. And I think he's going to bring it. Like, that's his role in this fight. Yeah. I think he's going to bring it. And then, does anybody know who else is on the Zepeda and Giovanni Cabrera card? I actually don't know. I didn't look at that card. No, actually, I did. I don't think I recognize anybody. So, yeah. Now, I got a dub saying freaky old Oscar not letting William cross that street. Okay, I ain't gonna bet on that now. See, not only are you out of my tax bracket, you see, you gotta slow down a little, buddy, because not only are you out of my tax bracket with the dub, you also betting some stuff that I'm not confident on betting on. I wouldn't put no money on that. You probably right. Yeah. Zepeda, Zepeda may not even fight in his own stable. He might not even fight Kid Austin. Let me tell it. So I'm not betting money. I wouldn't put money on that. Because Zepeda, he been calling out Shakur. And like I said, I'm not saying Zepeda is scared of Shakur, but, you know, I think they be pump faking. Now, boxing is 1v1. You can only use your hands. May the best man or woman win. Facts. Talk to him. I see no lies told. May the best man or woman win.
Yeah.
That's why boxing is the best sport, because you can't pass to Pippen for the... Hold on, bro. I don't like that shade. You throw it to MJ. Hold on now. What you mean by that? What you mean by that? Hold on, man. I'm about to take you to court.
All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
Don't you be sneak dissing MJ now. No. Nah, you right though. I agree. That's the thing about boxing. Tennis is like that too, to a certain extent. You know, singles, not really doubles, but yeah, tennis is like that too. You know, man. But boxing is actually the reason why I like boxing, because what Tech just said. You can't blame your coach. You can't blame your teammate. You can't say they missed a shot, you know. But I also say why it's even better than tennis, because guess what? I know you play sports, Tech. A lot of us play sports, whether it was track, basketball, football. You know, I played track. I ran track, played basketball, football. You know, hell, on the debate team. But if you get in an argument as a man, as a woman too, but mostly as a man, you know our pride kicks in, right? Even if you play in the game, well, shit, somebody gets to talking shit a little bit too good, you be like, man, you can't whoop my ass though. You might have just made that fadeaway in my face. You might have just beat me on the game. You can't whoop my ass though. You can't say that in boxing, because most likely the person just whooped your ass. So you probably just literally got your ass whooped. So that's why boxing is even above that. I'll take it one step further. Even soccer, baseball, you can get into it. You can say, hey, but you can't whoop my ass though. You can't say that in boxing, bro, because probably you just got your ass whooped. If you feel that strongly about it, you probably just got your ass kicked. You right about Kid Austin. His daddy been asking for William and Oscar. It's like, you know what I'm talking about, Ty? Boxing over every sport, yeah. Well, boxing and basketball for me. Those are my two favorite. I like track too, but I don't keep up with track like I do boxing and basketball. I like tennis. I don't keep up with that as much. I'm not gonna lie. I only keep up with track and shoot, I just slipped my mind. track and soccer during international play, like it's the World Cup or Olympics, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, I'm not really keeping up. Facts was quick to pull the gloves. All right, exactly, Ty. Exactly. Hey, hold on, you can't whip my ass though. You lose on 2K? What you said, bro? I ain't like what you just said, bro. Oh, my brother, you want to take this outside? You can't say that in boxing, man. You already got your ass kicked, so that's why I definitely put boxing competition over anything. But yeah, man. But like I said, I do have my innate biases. I ain't gonna make it seem like if there's you know, like I said, I don't really see me. I'm not gonna lie. I can't think of since I started liking Canelo. You know, I don't see a fighter where I'll be going over Canelo for. The Bud and Canelo one is very close. I'm not gonna know who I'm rooting for until the night of the fight, because I like Bud a lot. I like Canelo a lot. So I'm not sure once they get in the ring and that bell ring. Sometimes it takes that for me. You know, like. Manny Pacquiao Marquez is a perfect example. I like them both. The only fighter that I was going against Pacquiao was against Floyd, because Floyd is my favorite fighter. He's a GOAT to me. So even though I was slightly going for Floyd, I didn't want, you know, I was like, man, I hope it's a good fight, because I just want to see a competitive fight, because I like them both. I didn't want either one of them to be have their stature go down for losing to the other. So I just wanted to be a good fight. So I was going for Floyd against Manny, but other than that, Manny and Sugar Shane, I was going for Manny. Manny and Cotto, I like Cotto a lot. He's one of my favorite fighters, but I was going for Manny. The only fight I like Marquez. Juan Manuel Marquez is one of my favorite fighters too, you know. And when Manny and Marquez used to go at it, I didn't know who I was going for. And it's so crazy because some fights they fought about 4 or 5 times, right? Sometimes I was going for one, another fight I'll go for the other. So I just want that one to go on forever, man. So shout out to Manny and Marquez. I'll root for Bud, but I'm picking Canelo right now. Well, I'm picking Canelo, but I don't know who I'm rooting for. Yeah, I'm with you, B-Dog. B-Dog in the building. So, yeah, who I'm rooting for and who I'm picking are two different things. Like I said, Big Bang Zhang and Wilder. I like them both, but I like Wilder more. I was rooting for Wilder, but I picked Zhang. I'm very good at compartmentalizing. I don't mix my money with my wallet. I mean, my feelings with my wallet. I don't mix my heart with my wallet now. When he used to pull the gloves out, you would swear that you pulled out the blick. I'm telling Master 5,000, right? I got to see how Bud carries weight first, because that was the definitive factor for me with facts. Even though he's 5'11", he's about facts. I got Canelo beating Bud. Canelo versus Bud is a great fight for boxing fans, not casual. I agree. It would be a chess match for about 6 rounds. They both opened up, and Canelo has more power at 168, and Canelo only 5. That's the thing. That's the thing, Tech. That's why I say it's not that the reason why I think it's competitive. When people hear me say that I have Canelo, they be like, you don't like Bud, or you a sellout, or you hate. Bro, it's not that the reason why I think it's competitive is because I think so highly of Bud. What other 147-pounder do I think would stand a chance against Canelo? I literally think it's a good fight because of my respect for Bud. Are you crazy? Why if not, why the hell else would you think that Bud, a 147-pounder, would compete with a 168? Especially a 168 who, by the way, went up to 175, went to light heavyweight and got a belt there. And by the way, even though he lost to Bivol, one half of the light heavyweight undisputed champions, the two best in the division at 175. Oh, by the way, he fought him and didn't get stopped. That's the person we talk about. So Bud is a 147 until he fights at 154. So I'm saying I think so highly of Bud that I think it's competitive because of Bud. I think he could do it because I think so highly of Bud. However, I take it one step further than you, Tech. I don't think it's just because of his power at 168. To me, it's the opposite. It's because of his durability at 168 and 175. It's not, even if Terrence Bud could get to Canelo, and I know that it's not just your power and your punches, but it's also your precision and your timing and your punches, your accuracy, and when you do it, and your effectiveness, your efficiency with your punches. However, if I seen Jaime Munguia hit Canelo, I seen Triple G, Gennady Gennadovich Golovkin hit Canelo. I've seen Bivol hit Canelo. I've seen Sergey Kovalev. It was a lesser Kovalev. It wasn't entirely the crusher Kovalev, but it was still Kovalev. I seen him hit Canelo. Why the hell would I think a 147-pounder could hurt Canelo? And I've never seen Canelo hurt. That's why I have Canelo, because I don't believe Terrence Crawford could really hurt him. I could be wrong. I might be wrong. I may be wrong. But my common sense, and from what I've seen, I've never seen Canelo get hurt, and I've seen him at all the way at 175. I'm sorry, I don't think that's the biggest obstacle. That's what Terrence Crawford has to prove to me. He doesn't have to prove to me that he has the skills to hang with Canelo. I think he has the skills to hang with Canelo. He doesn't have to prove to me that he's going to be able to hit Canelo. I think he is going to be able to hit Canelo. I think he's so good. I think so highly of him. I just don't think he's going to be able to hurt him. That's the part that I'm unsure of. And if he does, and like Tech already articulated, I've been saying this. People say that, oh, Floyd beat Canelo. Floyd is an evasive fighter. If you watch Bud, Bud gets hit. Bud didn't beat Errol Spence down like that because he wasn't getting hit. If you watch that fight, Errol Spence got to Bud multiple times. It's just that Errol Spence's punches didn't have the significant effect and impact that we anticipated. Hell, even Bud said, damn, I didn't think I was gonna be able to take his punches as well as I did. Bud was even shocked. You damn well know that Spence was shocked. So my point is that Terrence Crawford is a fighter. Even with Sean Porter, he's a fighter. He's not an evasive fighter. Floyd beat Canelo because he put on a boxing clinic. He outclassed him. If you think Terrence Crawford's gonna do to Canelo what Floyd did, you're crazy. That's not even his style. There's gonna be a time when they exchange. And I got my money on the bigger guy. I do. But at 154, 160, his power doesn't change at 168. It's different power and chin-wise. Nello has only been buzzed if you talk to him. GG hit him flush. Talk to him, B. Talk to him, B, dog. He hit him flush, too. It wasn't no pity pats. Okay. Canelo has been more active than Bud. Nello was a youngster at that point, too. Not a veteran. Talk to him. Okay. And like I said, I'm not making the case. I'm just laying out the facts. So now, I really want to see what he does at 154. But even at 154 against Israel Madrimov, who has 10 fights. How much do you think this is going to prove at 168? 154, people are saying that, oh, I want to see how he handles 154. 154 is still 2 weight classes below 168. I don't think people realize. Yes, I do want to see how well he performs at 154. 154 is still 2 weight classes below 168. What are we doing? Like what are we talking about? 154 is still 14 pounds lighter. It's not the next weight class below. He still has some. What about 160? Then 168. So it's crazy, man. I appreciate it. I'm grateful. Thank you, Dot. I appreciate it. So yeah, I don't just say stuff off of emotion. I do think that Terrence Crawford is so great. Yes, that's why I think it's competitive. I just don't know. Arrow's punches were like the ones you throw in a dream. They just have no effect. That's my guy. I was upset. The overhead did nothing. Yeah. Errol Spence is a beast, though, man. He's a warrior. He went on the Shield. And, you know, I got to respect Errol Spence. Errol Spence never took no tune-ups. He done fought great fighters like Mikey Garcia, great fighters like Sean Porter, great fighters like Kell Brooks, great fighters like Ugas, great fighters like Lamont Peters. Like, I could go on and on, man. Errol Spence is the truth. Hell, he fought Chris Algieri. Say what you want about Chris Algieri, who's a great boxing mind and analyst. He was a champion, too. So, yeah, Errol Spence is a beast, man. He's not fighting Canelo 168. He's going to be a catchweight. It don't matter. Now, you think, how, let me ask you this, Kendrick. It's going to be a catchweight. When have you ever seen a catchweight not favor the bigger guy? Even, what was the catchweight at Canelo? I think it was 152 with Floyd, right? That's 2 pounds away from 154. So yes, it was a catchweight, but it favored the bigger guy. It was closer to the bigger guy's weight than the lower guy's weight. So even if it's at a catchweight, if you're crazy if you think he's gonna be below 160, you're crazy if you think he's gonna be below 162. If it's a catchweight, it's not gonna be. It's gonna be closer to the bigger guy. So even still, I could care. It could be at 161. It's still much closer to 168 than 154. Well, I guess at 161 will be actually in the middle because it'd be 7 pounds away from 154 and 7 pounds away from 160. But you know what I'm saying? That was still. Yeah, it's gonna be exactly. It's gonna be around 163 exactly. So 163, he hasn't even fought at 154 yet, brother. He fights at 154 in a month. So he's still 147. Hell, he's so much still 147. He's still a champion at recess at 147 for one of the belts. So it's still gonna be closer to Canelo's the weight that we're accustomed to seeing Canelo at than the weight we're accustomed to seeing Bud at. That's a fact. But you're right. It is gonna be at a catchweight. I don't think it's not gonna be at 168. Well, I don't know. I don't think it'll be at 160. I think it's gonna be a catchweight too. But I don't see it being below 162. I really think it's gonna be 165. If you ask me to be honest, if I had to put money on it, if it was a money question, I would say 165 is a catchweight. It's too much for Crawford. 168, I don't know. It could be another Charlo on that way. But that's the thing, Arnaldo. But that's the thing. It's not going to be Charlo because Terrence Crawford's going to fight. No disrespect to Jermell Charlo, but Terrence Crawford's a dog. And I'm not saying how he could win, but I got to give until proven otherwise. If Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence was flipped, if Errol Spence was beating the hell out of Terrence Crawford, I don't think Terrence Crawford would have gave up either. I think Terrence Crawford is a dog like that. That's why I think that he could, you know what I'm saying? That's why I think it's a good fight, because I think he's a dog like that. I think he's really like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that he's gonna. It is what it is. Jermell Charlo, after the second round, after he got touched one time, he was trying to survive. You know, and that's just what it is. You know, that's not disrespectful. It's just calling it like I see it. And I like Jermell Charlo. You know, he's still undisputed 154, whatever he was. You know what I'm talking about? And but I'll be honest with you, I never wanted. Who the hell wanted Lil Charlo? No one wanted Jermell Charlo versus Canelo. We always wanted Big Charlo, Jamal Charlo, right? That's the fight that we were intrigued and interested in. We were intrigued about and interested in, not Jermell. You know, so. People that were irate about that is like, bro, you should have already known. If you really watch boxing, you should have known it was probably gonna go like that. That's Lil Charlo. Man, Waldo's putting dudes out, was 50 pounds heavier. I believe in Bud. Yeah, but see, that's the difference too. Heavyweight is you're right. But heavyweight is, you know, they built like that. They different. We know that. You know, it's unlimited. You know, it's one thing to go into a fight knowing like, oh yeah, man, I'm about to fight this dude. He about to be 50 pounds heavier than me, and then you never feeling that before. Deontay Wilder been dealing with that since the Olympics. You know what I'm talking about? Not really Olympic, but you know what I'm saying? He been dealing with that since been dealing with that. But they been dealing with that. You know, so that's a whole other thing. You can only do so much in sparring. Yeah, Canelo said no catch weight. That's a fact, Jose. He said no catch weight, but, you know, 200 million can maybe change your mind a little bit. All right, maybe I'll go to 165. You know, 250 million, all right, maybe I might do 165. I give him 3 pounds. It was always going to be an uphill battle. Yeah, talk to him, B-Dog. But that's because we watch boxing, though. People who anticipate, I'm not gonna lie, no disrespect to anybody. I gotta be honest with you, I keep it real here, man. Anybody who expected that fight to be different, then you kind of don't really watch. Like, we wanted Jamal, you know. But shout out to Jamal, you know, hopefully he gets, you know, goes through, I know he's going through his mental health issues, man. And, you know, people should be sympathetic for that and empathetic for that. You know, even if you're not impacted by that directly, you can't directly walk in the shoes. You probably know somebody who's going through some mental health issues. And I don't think he gets the appropriate respect and a consideration for that, man. And not saying you gotta feel sorry for anybody, but guys, dang, man, throw a prayer up, a good thoughts or something. But it's so funny that the person that seems to be using mental health as a crutch and as when it's convenient to get him in and out of trouble or get him out of trouble, and Ryan Garcia, we don't show no sympathy. I don't see anybody. You know, shout out to Danny Jacobs, man. I watched an interview by Danny Jacobs. Jamal Charlo came up and he said, man, I wish the brother the best. And even when he got that arrest, man, I'm not knocking people. I gotta do what I do, man. You know, and I dropped a video saying that we should be, you know, our thoughts go out to him, not teasing him and dragging him. The man already openly admitted. You know how hard that is for a man? You know what I'm talking about? You know, it shouldn't be, but, you know, it is hard for men. You know, it's hard for people, you know, but to be vulnerable, but especially men. You know, he came out openly admitted that, hey, man, I'm going through some mental health issues, and, you know, people be dragging him and talking trash and saying, oh, we want to fight, and he weak for not fighting. Man, the man going through something, bro. And boxing is a mental game, right? It's called the sweet science, right? It's called the sweet science, man. You can't. Last time I checked, anything got science to do with it, you got to think a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's a mental game too, right? It was all, but Jermell was never good enough to be. Nah, I don't think so either. I'm gonna be honest. I got Canelo beating both of them. Like, I'll make a joke. It's funny, but it's not really funny. Canelo, man. Canelo be beating all types of lineages, man. He done beat Callum Smith, Liam Smith. He done beat Jose Cotto, Miguel Cotto. He beat Jermell Charlo. If he fight Jamal Charlo and beat him, guys, dang, Canelo knocking out all the brothers, man. He try to take out family trees. Gosh, dang, he trying to stop bloodlines. Mess around and fight Jose Benavidez before he fight David Benavidez. Oh, boy. We're only human. We all can get hurt no matter the weight. That's true. Yeah, we never know what could happen, you know. But what we got to do when we analyze something, you got to, you know, what they say, you know, you got to take your information, you know, take information and apply it to the best of your ability, you know. So you're right, anything can happen, but when we talk about, you know, given the characteristics of the fighters, it's hard for me to see how Terrence Crawford could beat Canelo without hurting him. And if he can't hurt him, then, you know, I think people sleep on Canelo's boxing skill too when it comes to Terrence Crawford. Yes, I do think Terrence Crawford is a better fighter. But I don't think it's, once again, I don't think it's that much of a skill gap. You know, I don't. I think Canelo has better head movement than Terrence Crawford, for sure. I do think that Terrence Crawford, he's more of a technician, of course, because he can seamlessly move, you know, go from orthodox to southpaw. But don't sleep on Canelo, man. Canelo's a technician too, nah. Canelo probably beats Jamal now, but not when they were both at. Ooh, that's. I don't know, Ty. You know, like I said, I thought it would have been a better fight before. I'm not gonna say he wouldn't have beat him. I don't know. I always thought it was a good fight. I think I lean towards Canelo more so now. Back then, I always thought it was a good fight. But I always lean towards Canelo slightly too. Still, if you know, you know. Yeah. And I mean, you could be right, Ty. I mean, Jamal Charles, that dude, nah. You ain't gonna sleep on Big Charlo, nah. But I still got Canelo though. I got Canelo in good fights though. I really want to see Caleb Plant and Jamal Charlo. You know, all things even. You know, and everybody all right. I like to see. I'm really big on Caleb Sweethand Plants too. He's actually one of my favorites at super middleweight. Probably after Canelo, he's probably my second favorite fighter at super middleweight. I like Caleb Plant, man. He stand on business, man. I respect that, man. We need more people like that, man. You know what I'm saying? He hold it down for the real ones, man. He don't take no trash. He don't take no shit from nobody. You know what I'm saying? Caleb slap a bitch Plant. Caleb, I don't fight, I don't argue. I just hit a bitch with a bottle Plant. Ryan Garcia talk about his family and stuff. He pull up on him, man. Canelo vs. Crawford needs a belt. If Canelo vs. Crawford needs a belt, if not bits, not pay-per-view. I don't know what you said. You lost me, Jose. I'm not sure what you're saying. Yeah, I rock with Canelo. Yeah, I rock with Caleb. Yeah, I rock with Caleb, man. Stand on business, man. I don't want to live in a world where, you know, where trolls run the planet and you could just say whatever you want without consequence or repercussion. I'm not condoning violence. I'm not an advocate for violence, but I'm definitely not an advocate for people to just say whatever they want without recompense or reprimand. You know, you can't just say whatever you want to anybody, man. And growing up where I'm from, you know, you can't talk to everybody the same way you talk to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Some people you can't say certain things to because you might get slapped in the mouth for what you said, and you should. I don't mean you should fight anybody for anything they say. Not if they call you stupid, you come across their jaw. I'm not saying that, but at the same time, Caleb Plant's a fighter. If you only, you know, he's a fighter. He's the last type of person that you should be able to talk about his wife or anything else disrespectfully and think that you could get away with unscathed, especially when I see you. You wildin'. Cap, if Canelo fights Bud, belt or not, that is pay-per-view for sure. Always saying it needs to be have belts. It can't be a pay-per-view. Yeah, I think that's pay-per-view. I agree with Ty. Benavidez came back down to 168 for that Canelo payday after that 165 reality check against a retired old fighter. I wanted to see him eat all his words he was saying and go for Bivol. So he did commit. So he gave up his claim to the mandatory 175. He made that official. I know he had 2 weeks. They gave him a 2-week grace period. Boxing is violent enough. Yeah, Arnaldo, but you gotta be it is violent enough, like, but you can't just say like that's different. I could be wrong. You know, I don't know you personally, but I'm sure you don't have that problem. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a problem with somebody running down on you and throwing a bottle at your head because you're probably not talking about people's wives all willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying? But the people who talk about people's wives who probably wouldn't do it if they're face to face, they need to get slapped about it. Yeah, because you probably wouldn't say that, but if you wasn't behind the keyboard. You know, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that every time you get in a verbal dispute, they just come down to blows. No, I'm not advocating that. I thought I made that clear, you know, but at the same time too, man, you know, nah, bro, you can't say anything to everybody. You know, I'm joking. Nah, I got you. No, we just having a discussion, man, whether you joking or not, you know. You just have a discussion, you and your daddy go to buy that fight. Talk to him. And your auntie too. Nah, he didn't differ officially. He didn't declare officially yet. But his father said he didn't differ officially yet. But his father said he leaned towards Canelo. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest, Ty. Like, I've always said this. Benavidez and Crawford first. No, Mayweather. You know, I think he's a GOAT. And I think he's a very smart man in and outside of the ring. But he was wrong on that. Saying that Crawford needs to fight Benavidez first is coming from the angle that Crawford needs to prove himself. Crawford doesn't have to prove himself for anybody. Crawford is the number 1, 2, or 3 pound for pound. Crawford is undisputed in 2 weight divisions. He don't have to prove himself for nothing. Canelo doesn't have to fight him. Be honest with you, I don't think Canelo should fight him. I want him to fight him, but I don't think Canelo has to fight him because Canelo has nothing to gain. It's literally a catch-22 for Canelo. It's lose-lose. If Canelo wins, they're going to say, oh, Terrence Crawford, we knew Terrence Crawford was too small. You know how people do. Everybody that's saying they want to see the fight, if Canelo beats Terrence Crawford, they're going to say, oh, I knew he was too small. He don't get nothing. And then if he loses, they're going to say he's a bigger fraud than the people already claim him to be. You know, I think Canelo's an all-time great. Canelo could not fight anybody from this day forward. He's still an all-time great. He's a Hall of Famer. So, Canelo, if I'm, in my opinion, I'm telling you, I want to see it. But if I'm Canelo, I wouldn't fight Bud. For what? Unless I'm getting an exorbitant fee, a very lucrative paycheck. You know, I got to get hella monetary compensation. But Canelo literally gains. He's right when he says that. He literally gains nothing out of fighting Terrence Crawford, besides the money in his pockets. So I'm not one of those. Even though I want to see the fight, I'm not one of those that would be mad if Canelo doesn't fight Bud. But coming from the angle that Bud needs to prove, no, Bud don't need to prove himself for nobody. Bud is a beast. Bud is that dude. Why does he need? He only need either Canelo's gonna fight him or he's not gonna fight him. But but Bud has to go to a proven ground. You sleep. Bud is that dude. You crazy. Bud is an all-time great. He don't need to prove himself for nothing. That's how I would play out. He dropped a T-shirt that says Canelo duck me. That's crazy. Oh yeah, I saw that bro. You don't be watching my videos, Tom. I'm about to start getting offended, bro. I just made a video about that T-shirt now. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, where's Smoochie at? We about to get you up out of here. We about to put you in the corner for 10 minutes. Get him up. Give him the boot. Ah! We might give you the boot, Ty. That's about the 3rd time you done hit me with some information I done made a video about, bro. You hurt my feelings now. Nah, don't time him out. I'm just joking. Please don't time out, Ty. I'm just joking. Man, you are so sharp with your boxing. I've been telling these boys Canelo skill gap versus Crawford is almost none, and I'm a Canelo. In my opinion, Canelo a better counterpuncher and defensive. Facts. I appreciate that, Johnny. Thank you, bro. Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, tell all your partners about me, man. I don't be no bias, man. I'm not knocking those channels that do, because there is an avenue for the bias, right? Because some people do want to hear, oh, everything pro Tank, or everything pro Ryan Garcia, or everything pro Canelo, or everything pro David Benavidez. I'm not like that, bro. I like boxing too much. I don't feel compelled to pick a side, bro. I'm like Tech said, I'm gonna win. If Bud and Canelo fight, I win. You know, regardless of who wins or loses, unless I put money on it. But if David Benavidez and Canelo fight, yeah, I think Canelo wins. But and I also think that Canelo's legacy is already solid. He's the one that's undisputed. He's the one with all the accolades. He's the one that moved up to light heavyweight, got a championship. He's the one that fought all Hall of Famers from Floyd, Sugar Shane, to Cotto, to had a trilogy with Triple G, had a match with Triple G for every G in his name. He's the one that has the all-time resume. Not David Benavidez, but I still want to see that fight, because I think David Benavidez, it's a 50-50 fight, because David Benavidez is a beast. I have Canelo winning I can tell you with specificity. I think Canelo's going to stop him to the body. That's why I think David Benavidez loses, but I still want to see the fight. However, I'm not on the boat to where I'm disrespecting Canelo's a legend, man. Canelo is an all-time great, man. I watched his greatness. So Canelo doesn't have to fight David Benavidez, but I do think he has to fight him if he's going to hold all the belts. He's undisputed, and by law, he should be. That's what a mandatory is, right? So once again, that's another instance of us directing our energy in the wrong place. I think Canelo. Well, so with Canelo being the cash cow, he could do whatever he wants. He said that, and that's true. And on the flip side of that, he could not do whatever he wants too. So him not fighting Benavidez because he doesn't want to do it. So he does get some of the blame by default. But it's not up to him to enforce the mandates. That's for the sanctioning bodies. They're the ones that enforce mandates, which is a mandatory. That's the root word of a mandatory, right? So we should be mad at the sanctioning bodies, but why are they not stripping them as fast as they strip some other fighters? Is because it's directly monetarily advantageous for them to keep them there, because they get paid off a percentage fee. That's the thing. These fees are not a flat fee. It's a percentage. So it's directly advantageous for these sanctioned bodies to have the cash cow, or whoever generates the most money, to keep the belts, because that percentage, that 3%, whatever percent it is, 3%, 4%, that hits a little harder on $2 million than that 3% does on $200,000. You see what I'm saying? So that's why they don't strip him. And I think that they get a percentage of the blame too. And to be fair, Benavidez gets a little bit of the blame too, because he fought Caleb Plant, and he came in overweight habitually, you know, and he had the cocaine, you know, stuff that demonstrated his lack of discipline. But I think that he gets a minimal of the blame. I think that if we're gonna split it on 100% percentage rate, I would give Canelo, like, you know, I give the sanctioned body 60% of the blame. I give Canelo 30% of the blame, and I'll give Benavidez 10% of the blame of why that fight hasn't happened. But yeah, people just blame Canelo because they don't pay attention to boxing. You know, boxers don't enforce mandatories. But like I said, with that said, I got to give him blame because he can do what he wants to do, and that by saying that, on the contrary, he can also not do what he doesn't want to do as well. Dog, I'm talking to the chat, but I know you be seeing me lurking in the comments. I know, you know I'm rocking with you, bro. You know, bro. Hey, some people like coming to the live stream. Some people like watching the video. You definitely be in my comments. I'm just messing with you, bro. I know you talking to the chat. Yeah, you definitely be in my comments. But some people won't watch the videos and they'll be in the live stream. You know, some people like live streams. Some people like the instant interaction, real time interaction. Some people like videos. You know. So nah, I'm just teasing, bro. I appreciate you in any capacity which you support, bro. Yeah, especially you. You know what I'm saying? You be holding it down. Thank you. They say Canelo gets 150 million, Bud gets only 5 million. I mean, that's up to Bud, you know. I don't know how much the split is gonna be. I don't even care, you know. I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you, Jose. Like I know about like some of the business side. I don't have no insider information. I don't know a lot. You know, I don't know what's going on. You will never catch me faking the funk in regards to that. But I know some of it because I pay attention so much to boxing. But I don't like to know the business side. I could care less. I don't care about who gets the higher split. I don't care about the revenue generation. Like people over there arguing about how much Tank sold and how much Haney sold and how much Garcia sold. I don't give a damn about that. I like the fights, you know, because the biggest fights, the fights that sell the most aren't necessarily the best, you know. One of my favorite fights of all time is Tim Bradley versus Ruslan Provodnikov. You know, that didn't sell the best. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd. You know, hell, Floyd and Conor McGregor is one of the best selling fights. Was that the best fight? Nah. So I don't know. I mean, I know people. I know why people are so enamored and infatuated with sales because you know they're pushing an agenda for the particular fighter that they like. I swear, a lot of these boxing channels, you know, they don't be boxing channels. They be boxing fan pages for whoever their favorite boxer is. They don't be boxing channels, man. That's why you don't catch me in too many boxing channels, man. And I don't even mind if you have like a slight bias or whatever. That's cool. But when you are oblivious to or directly and blatantly omit or even manipulate a narrative to benefit your favorite fighter, and you also disclose that you have a direct line to the favorite fighter, but then you try to act like you're unbiased, that's a lie. By default, the fact that you have a direct line, you're already coming from an angle to where you want to make sure that you stay on this person's good graces, and that's cool. But you ain't gonna catch me over there. I like boxing too much, man. We got blame WBC and IBF. Don't be giving no F's. Facts on who the champ is. You will fight our mandatory. Yeah, facts. IBF. I give IBF. They do their thing. But even them, they give Canelo a little more slack. And I can say that. And I like Canelo. Y'all know that. I have an emote of Canelo in my chat, but I can call it what it is. He's been getting a lot of leeway. So I do knock him for not fighting Benavidez because he's the undisputed. That's your duty as a champ. But at the same time, if you keep that status and they're not making you do it, then hell, you know. I mean, let's be honest. We have jobs, bro. We all have jobs here. We do something to make some money and have some income, right? If I have job A and job B, and job B is a little easier than job A, but I can get the same amount of money or relatively close, then you're gonna go with job B. That's just basic economics and common sense. So if you're gonna get paid anyway to do a job, then you might as well take the easier route, you know. I know people don't like to hear that, but it is what it is. Floyd going to the zone, he's a sellout. I mean, that ain't my business, man. You do what's best for you. When it comes to that money, that comes to that business, man, everybody else does what's best for them. When a brother does it, then they a sellout. I don't really subscribe to that notion, you know. It's kind of like LeBron and Bronny, you know. I never heard so many people complain about a 55th pick in my life. If you didn't complain about pick 1 through 54, why the hell you complaining about 55? You probably can't even tell me who the hell. If you can't tell me who the 5th pick was, you damn sure don't care about who the 55th pick was. You know, I hear people complain about nepotism. It's so funny, man. You know, and so the irony, you don't even have to look further than the Lakers. Jerry Buss was the owner. Rest in peace. So Jeannie Buss has been doing a great job with the Lakers, but she inherited it from her father. Is that not nepotism? In fact, her brother, Jim Buss, was the VP of basketball operations. Do you think that he was the most qualified to have that position? Or was there somebody else that didn't get the opportunity because his father passed it down to his son? Rightfully so. That's the advantages of being a great businessman or being successful. You get to make a better way for your kids and your offspring and your and people around you that you love. I've never seen so many people get mad about the 55th pick in my freaking life. I couldn't name you one 55th pick in the history of the entire history of the National Basketball Association. But all of a sudden everybody mad and talk about nepotism. Man, stop it. They mad because it's the black face that's doing it. Let's be real. This is America. We're going to talk about it. You know, and not saying everybody is mad. I'm saying that the people that are mad, that's what they're mad about. And they're trying to mask their hatred under the false flag of nepotism. Stop it. You're not mad about nepotism. LeBron never helped his culture, bro. I mean, I don't know what you want to do, bro. What does he say? He said LeBron never helped his culture. I mean, he made a school where he's from. I don't know what else you want him to do. So people always, what have you done for your culture or any culture? We worry about what the next man doing with their pockets. Stop pocket watching, man. We worry about what the next man and the next person doing. You ain't got to be rich to make a difference. You ain't got to be rich to make a difference. I think LeBron has done a lot. I can even tell you what he's done. Some of the stuff he's done. I'm sure he's done more things that weren't documented. But anyway, Lakers trash. Yeah, they might be trash. Bronny gonna win Rookie of the Year. I don't know about that, Kendrick. You wildin'. Why you think he was out of nowhere willing to fight William Skull? Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, IBF. I knew about that. He was an IBF mandatory, right? Yeah, I knew that. The William Skull joint. But yeah, man, nepotism. I'm not saying that nepotism is not just family related, right? It stretches out to friends too, you know. So I mean, look at JJ Redick. You know, JJ Redick never coached at all. You know what I'm saying? The professional ranks. He wasn't a strength and conditioning coach. He wasn't an assistant coach. He wasn't an associate coach. He didn't work as a GM or scout or nothing. He's a Lakers coach. That's one of the biggest franchises in NBA history. You don't think that was nepotism? Who cares? I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but if you weren't complaining about all the other times, don't complain about LeBron and Bronny, man. Bronny should be in the NBA number one. Now she'd be on the Lakers. I don't know, but it's a 55th pick. It wasn't like the first pick. Now if it was the first pick, then I get it. You know what I'm saying? Or like the 10th pick, I get it. But the 55th, stop it. He said LeBron only helped his family, never his culture. That's facts. I mean, that's not facts, because if you said his family, well, I mean, I'm not even gonna get into it with you, bro. Do you know who runs the agency? Do you know who runs the sport agency that he's with? That's not his family. What about Maverick Carter? That's no blood. Okay. Yeah, Jose, just shut the hell up, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Everybody that attends his school is a kid to him. What is Selena? Your name Jose Chavez. You told me that you're Hispanic, right? What has Selena Gomez done for you? Since we're just pulling up, since everybody has to do something, everybody doesn't have to do everything for their community, man. It's their money. Let them do what they see fit. But you picked the wrong person to plant your flag on with LeBron. LeBron does a lot. That was the wrong person to plant your flag on, bro. You just look dumb. You know, some people do give back. I think people should give back, but you know, everybody could give back. You know, everybody has the capacity and the ability to give back. You know, you don't have to be a millionaire to give back. So while you watching what he's doing and not doing, what about what you doing and not doing? You whatever. I ain't gonna talk. Canelo's fights are free to watch in Mexico now. Talk to him, Arnaldo. Shout out to Canelo for giving back. Big Canelo. Big Cinnamon. Big Cinnamon. Talk to him. No, but everybody can do stuff. You shouldn't say that LeBron doesn't do anything for his coach. LeBron does a lot of stuff for people. You know, you should do things for people. If you want to predicate your contribution to society to your particular culture, that's fine too. You shouldn't be knocked for that. But we ain't gonna have nobody come here and say, oh, just because he's black, he has to do something for the black culture. Man, you can do whatever you want, man. What have you done for the black culture? What have you done for the Hispanic culture? What have you done for the white culture? What have you done for the Asian culture? Everybody want to point fingers, man. I don't say, what have you done? You know what I'm saying? He said, I don't even know what you just tried to say, Jose. But because I don't know what you tried to say, I'm gonna choose to be offended. So get him out of here. Give him a 24 hours. Go put him at the kiddie table for 24 hours. We'll see you in the next stream, Jose. We're gonna holler at you, bro. You started off so strong. You started off so good today. And then you just couldn't help it. We're gonna holler at you. Give him a 24 hours, man. That's why his ass got popped. We're not tree huggers here. It's boxing. He said we're not tree huggers. It's crazy. Yo, I don't even know what you tried to say, but I'm gonna choose to be offended. That's why as an adult you gotta express yourself effectively and accurately, man. I don't know what you tried to say, but I'm going to choose to be offended. Shout out to all my brethren and sisters out there, man. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, or otherwise. Male, female, or otherwise. All the kings and queens, man, of all representations. I don't even know why you on that. Kayate. Kayate. Oh, man. He said Kayate. Nah, let him talk, man. That man crazy, bro. Jose. Don't worry, Arnaldo. I don't look at... I'm not that type of person that looks like stuff like that, man. I got all types of people in my family, man. My mama raised me right, man. We love everybody, though. But if you know, I like good people of all shapes and sizes, and I dislike bad people of all shapes and sizes and colorations. So one person does not represent a whole to me. You know what I'm saying? If you black and you asshole, you asshole. You just a black asshole. If you white, you asshole, you asshole. Just a white one. Hispanic, Asian, then you just and you asshole. You just a white and Hispanic Asian asshole. You know. Yeah. There's multicultural assholes. Cállate. Shut your face. Cállate la boca. That's how you say it. Be quiet. Shut your face. Or siéntate la boca. No. Cállate. Siéntate. Sit down. Right. I got to brush up on my Spanish, man. But yeah, man. Yeah. So I ain't got to worry about that with me. I like good people, man. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what you look like, bro. Even if I didn't have, white or Hispanic people in my family, I got white and Hispanic people, and black people, and Asian people that I love. So I grew up. I love everybody. Multicultural, yes sir. We can love everybody, man. We just don't like the losers. Losers come in all shapes, sizes, and colorations. Ethnicities, sexualities, orientations. But yeah, man, so who y'all look forward to the most, man? This is a boxing channel. That's facts. That's facts. Nah, man, ain't no wrong with that, man. You can shout out your, you know what I'm saying, your raza. You know what I'm saying? We do it for the people, man. We do it for the raza. You know what I'm talking about? We do it for la raza. By the way, pray for Jamaica. Amen. Oh Lord, what happened? Let me see what my mama talking about. What happened in Jamaica, man? Said they come with it for the races and culture. We do it for boxing. That's true. But fortunately or unfortunately, right, Arnaldo? Definitely big up Jamaica. What happened to Jamaica though? That's crazy. I'm Jamaican and I don't know what happened.
Me blood clot.
Big up Jamaica. But boxing. Boxing is what it is, man. Boxing does explore and benefit and exploit the racial dynamic too. That's. A lot of it's predicated off of it, right? Category 4 Hurricane Bomba. Jeez.
Me blood clot.
Yeah, man. I gotta pray for him tonight, man. But yeah, they explore the racial dynamic. I mean, Edgar Berlanga is probably gonna get the Canelo fight due to the cultural dynamic, right? The Puerto Rican versus Mexican dynamic that they explore. So, boxing is sometimes I think they do it too much, but a lot of times it's a casual fan that does, because that's a lot of time. Unfortunately, there's a lot of ignorant fans out there, man. That's what they love. Ain't nothing wrong with identifying with your community. Nothing wrong with that. But if that's it, and you're going to you have a sense of superiority or feel like somebody else has a sense of inferiority, then that's when it's a problem, right? But if you just have, you're supposed to be proudful. I'm proud that I'm black, but that don't mean that I think I'm better than somebody because I'm black. You should be proud that you're Hispanic. That means that you're better than somebody because you're Hispanic. You should be better than people because you're a good person. That's it. Anybody can be a good person. Yes, sir, man. Category 4, joke, man. It's coming from somebody who's been through multiple Category 4s. And I've been through a Category 5 hurricane. I think two Category 5s, if I'm not mistaken. Hurricane Andrew was for sure Category 5 when I was legit. I believe there was another hurricane Category 5 came through Florida, man. Dang. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with you. I don't take offense. You should be proud of who you are. But being proud of who you are is not synonymous with thinking that who you are makes you better than others. That's where the problem is. But yeah, man, I'm out here giving lessons on humanity. Out here preaching. Let me shut my ass up. But man, so I got O'Shaquie Foster and Robson Conceicao being the best fight of the night. I got what was Zepeda and Cabrera, Giovanni Cabrera being the second best. And then I have Shakur shining against Artem. I have Keyshawn with a stoppage. I might put some money on Shakur for a decision victory, to be honest. I'm not sure, though. We'll see. Especially if there's a lot, if there's a plus side on Shakur for a decision. I may lean towards that. I'm not sure, though. I also want to see Kelvin Davis fight for the first time live. That's Keyshawn's brother, or no? I know he has a brother. I always forget his brother's name. I always forget the brother's name. Yeah, okay, thank you. Does he have two brothers or one? Because didn't one of his brothers just fight on Pro Box too? Or I'm tripping. Was it Kelvin Davis? He has two? Okay. Yeah, so Kelvin fights Kevin Johnson. Okay. He talk a lot. I want to see what he got going on. Let's get it. He has 12 fights. I'm from Norfolk. Like Ave. Shark City Ave. Because I'm a brother out of Norfolk. Straight like that. Shout out to Ave. The youngest is in pro. Okay. Thank you. I'm about to look it up right now on Pro Box. I saw somebody fight. I was related to somebody. Oh, I see you got no Diddy. I just saw the no Diddy. Hey, bro. Hey, chill out, bro. He said no Diddy. Hey, yo. This man Kendrick funny as hell, dog. Nah, bro. You wildin'. How long we been on, man? 2 hours? Hey, my godson was here earlier. That's why, for those of you who came in late. No, I mean, you get here when you get here, and I appreciate it. Not late, per se, but my godson, I was watching my godson earlier today, man. I was having fun with him playing the game. My godson, man, they be growing so fast. I can't believe my godson 8 years old already, bro. I feel like I just remember holding him, you know what I'm saying, and carrying him and having to put him in his car seat, put on the cartoons for him while we driving, have him watching in the back, watching on the DVD. DB3, Davis Boxing 3. That is their bread. Yeah, I've been seeing them with the shirts. DB3. Okay, Davis Boxing 3. That's what's up. Hopefully they do well, man. Hopefully they do well. I'll be rooting for them. Definitely be rooting for them. I want the Russells to make a bounce back too, man. Especially, I like Gary Antoine the most, man. I'd be rooting for Gary Antoine Russell, man. I like him. That was a good fight by Alberto Puello. Alberto Puello definitely won that fight, though. But I'd be rooting for him to do good. $140 still nice, too, now. He still got Subarel up there. He looking for a bounce back opportunity. Gary Antoine Russell looking for a bounce back opportunity. Still got Sandor Martin. He's supposed to be fighting Alberto Puello, good Lord willing. We'll see how that goes. Of course, you got the champions, Liam Paro. Devin Haney, if you want to say champion in recess. Isa Pitbull Cruz, Teofimo. Richardson Hitchens. I always forget about Richardson Hitchens. Gustavo Limos, who Richardson Hitchens beat. I'm anticipating Puello's first defense. Yeah. That's a tough defense too, Kendrick. Sandor Martin, that's tough. That's a tough out, bro. That's a tough out for anybody. I want to see the Russell Lee PBC though. Yeah. Who just extended with PBC? Was it Stanionis? Somebody just extended with PBC. I think it was Stanionis just extended it with PBC not too long ago. PBC isn't doing either of the justice when it comes to their bookings. Yeah. I'm glad Caleb Plant's getting back in the ring too. I think David Benavidez just extended with PBC as well. So, Yeah. Some fighters, I'd be like, dang, like, I don't know why Caleb Plant hasn't gotten a fight so long. I don't really be understanding that, man. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I be knowing some of the business aspect just because I pay attention to the landscape, but I don't be liking to know, so I don't be going out my way to know. But Chad, I gotta go. I'm gonna go ahead and call it, man. I'm done. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. You know what I'm talking about. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Yeah, man. Y'all coming through and kicking it with me, man. Hear me talk my noise about this boxing stuff. Plan keep getting turned down. That's you know why, Ty? Because nobody want that smoke, man. The only this is another one. Kind of like what's my boy I just said? Williams Zepeda, right? Not I mean the different fighters and different points of their career. But like I said, only two people that I definitively pick over Williams Zepeda at 135 is Tank and Shakur. The only two people that I definitively pick over Caleb Plant are two people that he already lost to. Canelo and David Benavidez. I'm not saying that he beats everybody else, but I think that those are the only two that I felt like would beat him. I think everybody else, either Caleb Plant wins or it's a good fight. A very good fight. Even with David Morrell, I think it's a very good fight. David Morrell only has 10 fights. He's fighting Hot Rod at 175, so I don't know. But yeah, Caleb Plant and Munguia is a good fight. Caleb Plant and Billy's a good fight. Caleb Plant and Pacheco is a good fight. I think Caleb Plant kicks his ass. There's just I know I'm not naming Caleb Plant and Edgar Berlanga is a good fight. I think Caleb Plant kicks his ass too. You know, so Caleb Plant and Jamal Charlo is a great fight. I don't know how that one goes. To me, that's 50-50. He's a very good fighter. He slept on. Injured his hand, slapped. Hey yo, he said he injured his hand slapping people. That's crazy.
Me blood clot.
Facts, bro. Hey yo, he said he injured his hand slapping people, man. But yeah, man, I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Please, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I stream every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at a minimum at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've been going on daily for like the last 2 weeks, you know. But I don't have a set time for those dates yet. But yeah, I definitely provide boxing commentary, live boxing commentary for all the fights, whether it's on Pro Box on Wednesday or it's a big fight on Saturday night, you know, or early fight in Asia on a Tuesday, you know, and particularly Japan. So yeah, man, we here, man. So I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all y'all coming through, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Arnaldo. I appreciate that, man. God bless you, my brother. Yes, sir, mi hermano. Stand up, you know what I'm talking about? Yes, sir. Rude Exposure says Shakur's #1. I don't know. He gonna get one step closer if he beats Artem Harutyunyan in decisive fashion, convincing fashion, impressive fashion. I have him #2 though. I have him behind Tank, but I have him above everybody else, including Loma. But you know, I got Tank #1. But Shakur's not a bad person to have #1. I ain't mad at that. But yeah, y'all be easy. Take care of yourselves. Remember. With God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.